Right. Hello? Hello? Enable in there? We could on off chair, right.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is audible, sir. It is audible.
Yeah. Dr. Ravi, good afternoon. Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you. You are on job. Right.
Yes, sir.
So shall we start now?
Yes.
After break, people will join. Shall we start or we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes? We'll start.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So friends, we all of us know the academic counseling in ODL system is paramount important for ensuring ODL teaching learning through online is very significant and which is not indispensable. However, when a teacher starts his classroom teaching, he also manages classroom management and also observes face to face to the students, and there will be a direct interaction between the student and teacher. But when it comes to distance learning or open or online learning, student teacher interaction will not be there face to face, but through technology, this will be more when it comes to their own space and time. However, in the context of online teaching, students and teachers experience some sort of problems or issues while dealing with online teaching. When it comes to virtual nature of teaching learning, teachers provide individualized support, helping students to navigate the issues which are in the complex nature. But in case of online learning, it is not that much easy, but when it comes to online, ODL enhances personalized experience at their own space and time. However, it is online teaching, how to assure the student participation, whether the student is understanding or not, and how to interact with the student when it comes to individualized queries or issues. And as and when required, teacher has to advise them and counsel them and also motivates while they are in not in a position to understand or when they are also feel low. So how to proceed with this student advising and guiding while in online teaching is the essence of the today's training program, for which we have invited Professor Ravi, Director of KIMS Institute of Management, to give his talk on online student advising in digital era. So this would be a 1 hour session and Dr. Ravi will deliver a talk on this topic. So friends, try to make use of this training program and benefit out of this training program for making online teaching more effective and interesting. Now I request Dr. Ravi to start his session. Thank you, Dr. Ravi.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon, all of you. I have a few questions so that it is more interactive than routine one-sided flow. It is good that since all of us are teachers, that nobody is superior, nobody is inferior in the teaching community. Since all of us are teachers, we have ideas to share with each other. The ideas that I have may not be knowing to others, and the ideas that others have, I may not be knowing. Let's say if I know one idea, I need to know 99 ideas from other teachers, from my fraternity, teaching fraternity. So that is how we had to learn from each other. And the same thing we will apply even in this short session of maybe we are left with 53 minutes. Fine. Before we go to the online, the online part, I will try to get mostly from you, but let us focus on what is advising, how to advise. Is it relevant in India? And what is the significance? And what happens if this advising does not take place in the teaching community or in the academic environment? So we are going to talk more of advising, how relevant it is now in the emerging trend, more so the challenges we are facing in the post-COVID scenario from the learner point of view are totally new to the earlier scenario. It may be due to the vaccination, which is giving these side effects, or it may be due to, the kids are habituated to the gadgets and the radiation, which might have caused this drastic change in the psychological, emotional, exhibition of the kids. So we do not know, whatever be the reason, when there are challenges, we have to rise up to the occasion and try to help the students. Fine. First of all, I would like to ask some questions, maybe basic questions, which most of us are knowing it. So can I put a question? What is academic advising? May I put a question just like this? What is academic advice? All the, so it is there everywhere. So we have come something to learn new. What is advising? So what everybody knows, the basic definitions, you can add on to these points, or you can object to these points. What is an academic advising? It is a process which facilitates the student's understanding of the meaning and purpose of higher education. For what? Towards the success of, towards the academic success and lifelong learning. Whatever we are initiating at the time of admission, that will have lasting impact even till the retirement, even till his death. So that is the role of advising. It is a process which facilitates students' understanding of the program. For example, if I'm running an MBA in hospital and healthcare management, most of the students have the idea. Those students who are pursuing BCom and BBA know what they are going to learn in MBA. Most of the papers they know, and the areas they know, the specializations they know. But I'm running a niche course in collaboration with the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, where the population is very, very small. This is a niche area. And the courses mentioned, the courses listed out in this program are completely unique. So what we have to do is, first we have to orient these students about the listed out in the program. What is the purpose of designing this program called Masters in Business Administration in Healthcare and Hospital Administration or Hospital Management? So what is the purpose? What are the courses built? We are trying to orient the student about the subjects that they are going to learn. And if you ask me, how much time does it take, Professor? It takes about half an hour time. And if you ask Professor Pawar, he knows that it is a session of 3 full days. 9 to 5, 3 full days was the orientation for the 4 semesters MBA HSCM program, because we give importance, the university gives importance to the advising, academic advising. And if this is not done, in the initial stage, the student carries all through the 4 semesters the same misunderstanding if he is not understood properly the expectation from the program. So therefore, we have decided that let us orient these students, let us give them a better understanding and the purpose of this particular program, and to capitalize it for his lifelong success and learning. This is academic advising. I want my friends to add on to what I have just now said. Giving a pause of 1 minute, I will proceed. It is an academic advising. It is a process. It is a fundamental activity that the institutions, the universities have to take up. But as of now, the universities don't have a designation called student advisor, but in various other names. But actually, are they doing what they're expected to do? We will discuss on those things. If not, we have to do it. Okay, as I promised, I want to give a pause of 1 minute to add on to these lines and words that are placed here in the slide. Yes, please. It's a process of facilitating the student to of the program or a degree course or program. Okay, how it works. We all know this story, many stories are there, and we're not sure whether they are hypothetical stories or factual stories. We do not know, but the sense we can take from them. Yeah, sometime back, the noted scientist, when he was a child, was sent back from the school. Okay, and before sending back, there was a note given to the teacher. I'm sorry, to the parent. Okay, sent through this boy. Your kid is notorious. Your kid, we try all means to improve him, develop him, but he is a headache in the school. Okay, and his behavior is erratic, and we can't just bear with him anymore. Would you please take your child away? Is the note sent to Pauline. Actually, when the child is admitted, the teachers or the teacher should have done this, should have understood what is the personality, what is the behavioral pattern of the child, and how to improve upon. They should have worked on, but they didn't do that. They have just sent a note. Was done by his mother, Pauline. What she did was, she was reading the letter to the child. Most of you know it, but I'm simply repeating what you know it already. And we are not worried whether it is factual or actual, factual or hypothetical, sorry. But the sense is, impressive. It is written that we can no longer bear with your child, and we do not have space to accommodate such a child, of such a behavior. Please come and take your child with TC. The mother read that letter to him as, your son is extraordinary, and we don't have enough facilities to train such a extraordinary child. Therefore, we take our child and our apology and inability to extend training facilities, mentoring facility to your child. The wordings may be here and there, slight rent. I just told you, cheat or the slip is something, but mother read the same slip with another intent, with another content, completely contrasting content. When she read that, Einstein, at that very tender age, was motivated, encouraged. She didn't stop there. She didn't stop there. She went on taking him to the tours, picnics, out best to buy some of the best of the toys, so that to observe and identify what my son is good at. She was sharing the same thing with her husband, how to handle the special needs of this child. She went on, never giving up, went on mentoring the child. Finally, there may be a process in between, but we see the evolution of E is equal to mc square, and he has become one of the noted scientists of the world of our times. There may be some scientists BC, some scientists afterwards also, but of our times in 19th century or 20th century, 20th century, we see a man in front of us becoming an extraordinary personality coming from, a big-headed, uncontrolled, unbridled fellow becoming extraordinary scientist of our time. Now, all the credit goes to advising. The academic advising was done by the mother, but it should have been done by the teachers. Now, since then, many scientists, many teachers, many scientists for the teaching community have developed so many techniques, and finally, academic advising has become popular for the last 40 years. And it is there very much practiced in other countries. I'll take 3 more examples which I have experienced. Mr. Ravi Kiran, IFS, presently IFS. He's the stakeholder for us. If he would have been in BTech, and some of us are teaching in the engineering colleges, he was admitted into the son of a teacher, primary school teacher, and a policeman, very disciplined family. And also, he has got very impressive grades in his plus standard and +2 also, 12th standard. Very good grades, 90s. He was admitted into the then, regional engineering college. Now it is NIT Warangal. And he was taking this permission of these 2 members. So therefore, I'm taking the names, and don't think that if we just speak out something, he's going to use our names also. No, but before speaking about them, I had the permission. When he was admitted, he was a brilliant child. He was a very disciplined guy coming from a disciplined family. Something went wrong. There are only 2 subjects pending. Because he was not able to balance between the practicals and the theoretical, and some of the interesting subjects for him, some of the boring subjects for him, he was not able to balance. And the grade management, he was not able to balance, and he had some backlogs. And final year, everybody passed and joined the jobs and good positions. First year, all his classmates joined the companies, government also, some of them. Second year, they got 2 years of experience by the end of second year. Third year, by the end of third year, they got 3 years of experience. Fourth year, fifth year, 6 years gone. And in the 6 years, in the sixth year, he sat down and began pondering over what could be the reason for my failure. All my friends have got 5 years of experience as BTech graduates from a respected engineering college called REC Warangal. But this boy is still struggling to clear his papers. He decided one fine day, he said, there's something wrong in my attempt. He checked with that. And he sat simultaneously for those papers and civil services. And in that year, he was not visible to anybody. For 5 years, all his friends were, scolding him, ill-treating him, looking him down, naming him, so many other things. He was a careless boy. He was, he was not interested. He is a burden to the parents. He wasted the money of the parents. All these wordings he had to listen. But finally, one day, he sat down and said, I will not be visible to anybody for 1 year. And he simultaneously prepared for civil services and forest services. He cracked. He became now the forest service officer and range officer now. Look at this. This realization came out of what came through, this motivation he got. This realization is out of the motivation from one of his uncles who was the headmaster of a school, high school of the same district, Khammam. He sat with him and both of them had the interaction. Finally, in less than 12 months, this boy became an officer. I'll take one more example. There's one more gentleman by name, Mr. B. Sunil Ravikumar. I also placed the degrees here. He was, he was a noted fellow in the entire 1,000 students high school for his math acumen. Any problem, he can just do it in just 2 minutes. He can crack in 2 minutes. That is the sharpness that he had, if not 5 minutes. Algebra. And when he took MPC at his +2, he failed in one subject called chemistry. And one of his friends, he lost 4 subjects out of 6 subjects in the same batch. That fellow who lost 4 subjects wrote all subjects instead of writing only 4 failed subjects. Because he attempted that foolishly, Mr. Sunil also, as a boy, I'm talking about, he also attempted the same way. Actually, he should have attempted only for that chemistry and got out of it. When he attempted for all subjects, the first fellow who failed in 4 subjects cleared all subjects, and this boy lost because there is a second year subject. There's a second year syllabus. He lost the first year 3 subjects, maths, physics, chemistry, gone. Look at this. This is because nobody mentored him, nobody guided him in those days. I'm talking about the 80s and 90s. Now, let me come to one more recent example. I also got the permission of Dr. Samuel in the morning to talk about this case. Recently, he approached the university after 15 or 18 years, if I'm not wrong. I may be wrong with the numbers, but it is more than 10 years. Was university scheme, year-wise scheme, I'm sorry, year-wise university scheme, year-wise. Now it is all semesters. So he did his MBA in 3 years year-wise scheme format. But in those days, he did not know the significance of the percentage. What he was happy was, I got an MBA degree, that's it. So he was at somewhere at 57 or 58. He didn't touch 60. But all of us know that an MBA degree without first class grade, anything that is less than 60% is not of any use for an MBA program. Of that, in those days, maybe in 2007 or 8 days. And he went on like that. And he got his PhD registered in management department with MCOM degree. And later on, he got MBA. And he has MCOM, MBA, MPhil, PhD. But wherever he's going to apply for the director or dean position, what they are checking is whether the candidate has first class all through. Just 3% he's falling short of that. Nobody guided him. Now, the person as I see when I have interacted, he had a very good language command. He has got a very good subject in his own area, and he has got a rich experience, very much eligible when it comes to administrative capabilities, fit to be a director or a principal, but of any respected institute. And his desire from his childhood was to be in one of the centers of excellence like IITs, NITs, IIMs. But that is not realized. His dream is not realized for a small mistake that took place in 2007 or 8. It is all because this process is not done. The academic advising was not done in those days. But academic advising is mandatory in all the new institutions that are going to come up. Academic advising is must for in all the educational institutions, and only if you have the position called academic advisor, you will be getting the accreditations and the grades, the academic accreditations like AACSB, AMBA, okay, and NAC in our country, NBA. So you will be eligible only if you have been doing this academic advising activity. There is an in-charge person for that in your institution. Fine. If you look at the university, particularly Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, I think any of the staff members from university, maybe Professor Pawar or Dr. Radhakrishna, if any of you are there, if you can give me this small information, any of the staff members of the university, what is the dropout rate percentage in your university undergraduate and postgraduate program, sir? The dropout percentage, or you can also give me the success rate. If you give me the success rate, then I can see the dropout. What is the dropout percentage at undergraduate level of your university? What is the dropout percentage at postgraduate level of your university? If you can just, I'm sorry, I'm just randomly asking this. If you know it, it will be useful for us to discuss even more fruitfully. Otherwise, also no problem. Dr. Radhakrishna, if you can give me. Or any of the staff members. Okay, because this is a random question. Yes, anybody? Yes? Is there anybody can help me out? Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah,
Yes.
because this is a random question. I'm sorry for it. Yeah. Let us say if the dropout percentage is, yes, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello? Hello, sir? Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. Conceptual. Was it muted all through? Was it muted all through, sir?
No, sir. It was just for a fraction of time.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
After you're asking percentage.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
The percentage, we're talking about the dropout percentage. To avoid that, retain the students all 4 semesters of PG, all 6 semesters of UG. I think these 3 important issues, through these 3 important issues, we can fix it. Conceptual. When the student comes to the institute, he comes with his own world. He comes with his own, there's a big world. And in that big world, he's one of the entities. He's one entity. And from that huge world, we have to drive him towards the program that we are inducting him in. We have to drive the students, direct the students that look, this is a big world. From this big world, you have to come down to a stage where this is your world. The academics are your world now. You may have a bigger world, but most important world for you is this MBA program. And you have to breathe it, and you have to, you have to sleep with it. So it may be something like that, sounds irrational, but I'm saying that you have to make him feel that this is my world, small world, in a bigger world. Conceptually, you have to drive him to the program. There are many courses in the world, many programs in the world offered by many institutions and the universities, but our university is offering, and this is the program you are inducted in, and this program's career opportunities, this program's employment opportunities are this. And this program can be easily carried on with these strategies. You had to simplify, you had to conceptualize the program from a bigger picture to the narrowed down point. The next one is informational. Informational. I have a question here. Any of you can respond to me. Those who know can respond to me. Is there anybody here who knows how to calculate the cumulative grade point average CGPA of either Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University or Usmania University? Anybody? You can tell me about BRAOU, grade point average calculation. You can tell me about the Usmania University grade point average calculation. Yes, please. Meanwhile, I will just stop sharing this and share something else. Go ahead, please. If you know it, please speak. Anybody? Yeah. So this is the calculation, right? I'm just taking the example of Usmania University. Yeah, BCom, BSc, BA. BCom, BSc, BA. The total credit points are, if you take a semester, how many semesters are there? Six semesters. 6 semesters. I think please do correct me. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, anybody would like to add on?
6 semesters, sir. Total 6 semesters.
Yeah. There
UG?
are totally 6.
Yes, sir. UG, total 6
And in
semesters.
each semester, there are credit points. Yeah,
Credit
there are
points.
credit points. There are credit points. Okay, 200 in the first semester, sorry, and 24 in the 24 of the credits. Likewise, 212 in the second semester, credit points, and the credits are 24, and likewise up to sixth semester. Now, the CGPA calculation is done with this small formula. The total of the sum of all the credit points ends from semester 1 to semester 6. Semester 1 to semester 6. Yeah, look at this. 200 plus 212 plus 213 plus 218 plus 216, 210. Okay, total of credit points in all the semesters of the program. By the total of credits of the semester, the credits, these credits. Okay, so these are the credits. Right. So 24, 24, 25, all this calculation is given. The total of credit points by the total credits, 1269 by 145, which is 8.75. Then this is the value. After this, you have to use this for evaluation criteria. Of course, the Excel, you simply insert the formula it gives. When you are giving this, when you're assessing the grades, in the first year of choice-based credit system, there were failures purely out of the the poor performance of the students. Of course, the students also contributed to their own failures, but it is more than that. It is the misunderstanding of the teachers. Why? Because the teacher is not aware that a particular assignment also is very, very crucial for the pass grade of the student of that particular course or subject. So therefore, because he did not submit the assignment, he simply gave 0. Or because he did not write a particular internal examination, simply put absent. So what happened due to this? Though he got very good grade in the 4th grade, I have been listening to some of the students. However much I try to explain these grade point calculations, and I'm not going through the details calculation because it takes 1 hour. Okay, I've just shown you just the basic calculation, and that you have to relate to the internal examination, assignments, presentation, theory, external examination of that semester for that particular subject or course. So I'm not going to the detailed calculation. To make you fully understand, it will take a lot of time. So you can refer this. I will place this link. Most of you have it. It is on the university website. Just request I will place. Fine. Now we'll come back. When they have not given this, these internal assessments, these students, when I asked, hey, why are you so careless about this 20 marks or 30 marks of internal? The common response across the students is, sir, final में देखते sir, final में देख लेते, final में देख लेते. आप देखिए sir, out of 80, I will get 75 sir, if it is accounting. Out of 80 sir, I will get for sure 60. 60 तो पास हो जाएंगे. क्या है सर, ये क्या दिक्कत है इसमें काम करने का, ये पूरा इंटरनल लिखना, ये झंझाट क्या है? So this is how students used to respond. But when they wrote and really got 75 out of 80, yet they got very low grade because they have not submitted the internal assessments. And we were, I tried to explain, but frankly and honestly, let me say, I have not done enough work in making the child to sit down with me and make him understand all these calculations. And finally, in the 3rd semester, they come and say, sir, you said something and it really happened. Why? Can you please explain? Then I sat with him and made all these calculations for about 1.5 to 2 hours, taking all his grades. This is how your grades are calculated. And sir, मैं सोच रहा था university. Now I realize it is my misunderstanding of the CGPA calculation. Now it is the student's mistake. The first one is the teacher's mistake. The teachers also are unaware and fail to make a follow-up work of the students for their internal assessments. Yeah, sometime back, my PhD, I should not be saying, but the situation warrants. My guide, he is my guide. My student is not available to me for guiding for his doctoral thesis. The other man responded, even if your student fails to, come to you and get the work, do the work, what you're saying, ultimately, as a professor, as a guide, it is your responsibility. Instead of saying that, he said, but you're his professor, now professor, he said, which means this professor fully understood. Look at this. When we are guiding the students, we fail to understand that the student is spending more time with us than with their parents. and we fail to give time for them. Now, reasons may be anything. Reason may be anything. Circumstance may be anything. Yeah, when a particular student was guided, a teacher was trying to mentor. When she was trying to mentor, मेरा बाप माँ बाप भी ऐसा नहीं बोलता मैडम, आपको क्यों? Why you are bothered about my career? My own mother and father are not bothered. I don't want this degree. Just for paper I'm studying. This is how the students were talking to the teachers. And that's why the teachers also, sometimes discouraged, disappointed, and they just give up. But nevertheless, there are some needy students who really need our services. There may be some students who will realize at a later stage, they will come back by the time is already late. But leaving those students aside, there are many students. Just because a couple of students say that, we cannot give up, student advising, student mentoring. Now, I will come back to the presentation. What I have done is information. I have to give the entire information about the program. How many credits are there? How many, how each assessment is weighed in the grade point average calculation. And what is the expectation for a student to be successful in a particular course or subject? And how many attempts a student can give, and how many maximum number of years you are allowed, a student is allowed to complete the program. You have to give the full picture of the program with credits, calculations, number of subjects in each semester, the total credits in the semester, and how many credits he has to be successful. And if there is a list of 40 subjects, actually choice-based credit system is completely misunderstood in India. A student can have the choice of, have the option of choosing the credits, but he doesn't have. We are just writing it on the wall, but we are not really meaning what it is. A student out of 200 credits or 180 credits, he can, or 180 credits or one. Is it visible to you? Is my presentation visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
It's a 124 credits, 100 credits, 150 credits, I'm telling the higher side. Whatever be the total credits, how many credits a student has to clear? How many credits the student has to clear to award a certificate? Okay. To illustrate it, I'll come this way, sir. For my child, there are 12 subjects. In 9th standard, there are 12 subjects. Out of 12 subjects, 3 are local subjects. Like, you have your Telugu, which is local, which is not included in the grade calculation. There is, value education, which is not included in the grade calculation. And there is a life skills course, which is again not included in the grade calculation. It is just like Indian heritage and culture. It is just like science and civilization, that passing these subjects is must, but the score in that is not added to the grade point calculation. If this is not told to the students, this particular point is not told to the student, this information is not given to the students. I'm just telling these examples. If this kind of information is not given to the students, then some students take years to clear their program. And in my own experience, I have presented 3 cases. There are many students, for misunderstanding the examination assessment system, the entire curriculum, they have, they have dropped from the program. They have just, skipped the program and chosen other other modes of calling. Fine. Relational, a mentor or a student advisor has to play a relational role, has to play, uh, a role of a relative. He's not really a relative. It is not even a relative, I can say. It is maintaining the relation. It is the student-taught relationship which has to be maintained. If this relationship is not maintained, yeah, if it is only a duty, then things may work, may not work. Okay, and these are, I just skipped it because some of the contents I have placed it here, some of the points which I'm going to speak. If you want to be an advisor, student advisor, you should be genuinely interested in the student. Only then you can establish the relationship between you and the student. Just for the sake of, some job, if you are, taking up that position, let me tell you, it is a punishment for you, not just you, even to the student. Because every interaction is painful. You want the guy to grow in his grades, but you use all unhealthy means to motivate him. But what is important is that take interest in the student. Take interest in the student. Now, I'll just, genuinely taking interest involves focus on the needs of the student. Needs of the student. Jack Horner, a little Jack Horner. There's a small rhyme in our childhood. Put his thumb and pull out a plum. Put in his thumb. He has put in his thumb and pull out the plum. And, all the saliva, the plum, if it is coming out, he feels that it is an accomplishment. But for the one who is looking at him, oh, what is this? Get a hanky or get a tissue, just, wipe it out. Okay. And if the parents are not doing it, what kind of parents are these? They are not even taking care of the child when he is doing this. But for this, little Jack, it is achievement. Yeah, putting his thumb in and pulling out the saliva or the plum, it is just an achievement. And he just keeps a smile as if he has accomplished something. In many instances, our students do stupid things and expect appreciation from us. That's his need. At times, yeah, you will be surprised. You will be surprised when a student, I was also uncomfortable. And when the student came and told me, when I was uncomfortable, the same thing, I expressed it on the face, but the student got terribly disappointed. For example, I don't go to movie theaters. I have not been going to movie theaters for the last 30 years. Because I don't go to movie theaters, I have no knowledge of the movie stars, much knowledge of the movie stars. In those days, way back in 99 or 98, a student came running to me and with all well-built muscle and with tight t-shirt and said, "Sir, am I looking like Hrithik Roshan?" He said. I said, "Who is that?" I was the teacher at the time. When the student came and expressed his happiness, am I looking like Hrithik Roshan? I said, "Who is that?" Honestly saying, frankly saying, I was not aware of who was Hrithik Roshan. He just entered the film industry as a young boy at the time, and he was doing very good, and his movies were hit. I'm not aware of that. So because I was poor in GK, because I'm not interested in that area. But I have terribly disappointed. When I said, who is that? The boy was disappointed. So for him, that is, he was expecting something. What I should have done is, yeah, if I would have the knowledge of that, yeah, you're looking like Hrithik Roshan, but you can also become like Bill Gates. You can also become like Steve Jobs, right? I could have added that point, appreciating what his stupidity is. For me, stupidity, for him, it is an accomplishment. I should appreciate that, which I didn't do that. So accepting his feel of achievement, I should have added what I have to add so that he can focus on his academics. I was a failure there. I didn't do that. Why? Because I didn't focus on the students, what they're doing, what is the present trend in the, teenagers. What was the present trend in the youngsters, boys and girls? I failed to focus the needs of the students. Therefore, though I was genuinely interested in the students in mentoring, I could not involve the learner effectively. The second point, I could not direct them properly. Look at this. Involving them works more than, just teaching, just speaking, right? And most of us have proved it right. Then we should understand that guiding is important than directing. Do this, do that. Do's and don'ts, if we go on saying, then that may work, that may not work. I can't guarantee you the success in your students. But guiding is important. If you guide, if not today, he will definitely be a successful human being. I'll tell you my own experience in the very last year. There is a student coming from Mafsal, a village away from Siddipet, where there is no bus facility for that village. They had to come by private transportation, by bikes, motorbikes, or autos to Siddipet. From Siddipet, they will go to any place, such a remote place, I just want to say. He is coming from such a background, and I have been mentoring him, guiding him. Believe me, one sitting was about 60, 70, 80 minutes also, 1.5, 90 minutes also it was going. And I lost my energies almost. I was not able to make him come to the track. Because for 23 years, he's in a village. From village, he's going to Siddipet. That's all the world to him. From that world, I had to direct him to a different world. Yeah, I have to direct him to a different world. That is the MBA in hospital administration, where the practicals in this MBA are more important than your regular MBA. Hardly there are 4 courses which are core management courses, like financial management, financial accounting, operations research, statistics. Other than this, the rest all are hospital related, biological sciences courses or subjects. So to direct him was not sufficient for me. I have to guide him. To direct, I can simply say, hey, don't do this and do this. But now I had to take the role of guide. I was available to him. I told him that I am available to you if you are genuinely interested to make a career in hospital administration. I am available to you from morning 6 o'clock till evening 10 o'clock. And I meant, there are cases where he says, sir, I'm coming. I have rushed to the office by 7 o'clock. There are cases, sir, I'm done with my internship, okay, at 6 o'clock. I have to go by 5:30 or 5, but he calls me and says, I want to meet you. I sit down in my office till he comes and just, consoles him for the challenges that he's undergoing in the floors of the hospital, and then encourage him. This is how you have to learn. There's a course called patient care management subject, and I have put him the floor to take care of the patients. The patients shout when they, when they see the tragedy. And to teach him that you have to absorb all those things, I have to absorb all his tears, all his pain. And at times I had to be tough. I'll tell you one instance. There's one lady or one senior lady requested him, beta, thoda wo bag leke aao na."
Hello, Dr. Ravi,
Yes, sir.
please kindly try to conclude, okay?
Yeah.
Next speaker is ready.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, sir, beta thoda bag leke aao. Then he says, sir, am I looking like a housekeeping person? I'm not a housekeeping person. Then I had to guide him. I had to say, boy, you have to be empathetic, not just sympathetic, empathetic. She is 70s, and like a grandson, she might have asked you, and you take pleasure in helping her. So guiding is important. So, the mentor, the advisor should be knowing. The 5 skills of the academic advising, we're running short of time. And I will share these slides to you. Then competence. Just as I earlier said, sir, just give me 8 minutes, sir. Power, sir. Okay. So, competence. If I myself do not know how to calculate grade point, if I myself do not understand what is the cumulative grade point average, how I will be helping, what I'll be telling the students, first, I should have the competence. Then I must be the one who builds the confidence in my student. And the student should feel whatever I'm speaking is credible information for him. And I must be courteous, polite, decent enough, respecting his feelings. And I should always, aim for alternatives. Every student has a different challenge, and accordingly, I should be creative in, helping the student. Now, the scenario is you are not just an information expert, but you had to transform yourself to a facilitation expert. Nancy says that student experiences major life transition when they are admitted into your program. The success or failure, it is influenced by the environment they are admitted into. Are you giving that environment or not? Do you provide such environment or not? Now, the present question is, sir, if it is face-to-face, all this we can do. And let me tell you one more thing. The student advising, it is always advised that you should focus, you should take up one case at a time, one student at a time while you're advising. Now, when it is physical, you see him, you know him, he's there in your very presence. But if it is online, please ensure that always the video is on. And instruct him that, he should be properly presentable on the screen. And try to look into his expressions, his pain, his feelings, his tears at times. Try to assess based on his gestures. And there are many platforms. I'm not going to talk about the technicalities. There are other experts who will be talking about and waiting for, delivering the tools and platforms. It is one-on-one which you have to involve. So we will just close it because there's no time. And I only suggest that I only wish that happy advising to all the esteemed teachers present in this session. Thank you so much. And if you still have any doubt or material or content, feel free to mail me or message me. I'd be happy to share any information that you need, but give me 48 hours to send anything that you want. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Now it is over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ravi, for your talk on student advising in online teaching. And you have covered many things from not only students' point of view, but also teachers' experiences with students in the face-to-face as well as online scenario. Now the time has come to invite our next speaker, Professor Rajshekhar from Central University of Hyderabad. Professor Rajshekhar ji, where are you?
Yes, Anand.
Sir, good
Here.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to this session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
This morning it is going on, and second session is over just now. And now third session is yours, which is on educational technologies for effective online teaching. Because many of the teachers may not be knowing all the tools and techniques available for them to make use in their teaching learning processes. Therefore, I would like to request you to touch upon the various tools and techniques that are available and to make online teaching learning more participative, interesting, and effective. So over to Professor Rajshekhar to start his session talk on education technologies for effective online teaching. Professor Rajshekhar ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anand Pawar. Good afternoon, all the participants, Dr. Ravi Tati, Anand Pawar, and organizers. Yeah, this is the topic I'm going to handle with, that is educational technologies for effective online teaching. Are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I stop my video and yeah, now I'm going to make a slideshow. Okay.
Sir, your session ends at 3 o'clock. Sorry, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yeah. Actually, I
4
scheduled
o'clock.
another session from 4 to 5:30. I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
close.
fine. Thank
I have to
you.
close. Yeah. Fine. This is educational technologies for effective online teaching. Of course, I'm not new to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. So, of course, anyway, my contact details are here. My email ID is here. My mobile number is here. My website is there. Of course, my address is there. Senior Professor, School of Management Studies. And of course, this is all my details. Let us try to quickly cover the topic. So this is the classrooms, what we have witnessed when we were students. This is what a classroom we have witnessed. Even today also, I think most of the government degree colleges, government junior colleges will have this kind of a classroom. There is a board. The only thing is, in my childhood, I have seen a blackboard. Now it is a green board. But otherwise, more or less, the same scenario, the same old furniture. This is how it is. So if you look at this, this is a kind of a modern classroom. Today, we are interacting with this kind of classrooms where, every student, every student is having a kind of Apparao Nemala. Yeah. So the laptops are like this and the students are sitting at the screen and you see the classroom layout, how it was earlier, how it is now. So there is no proper kind of a sitting. That's what we feel, but this is how it is. So people can sit anywhere, any direction, anywhere they can see whatever. So what is online teaching? So this is what we need to quickly move, but prior to COVID, this was a big question to be answered. Post-COVID, especially for distance education, maybe staff, this is not a very new thing. The online teaching is the process of educating others on virtual platforms. Yeah. So this type of teaching involves live classes, video conferencing, webinars, and other online tools. Online teaching is a student-centric methodology that increases students' interest and participation levels in virtual classrooms. See, we do have problem in engaging the students in offline classrooms. We do have problem in converting our classrooms as a student-centric classrooms in offline mode. But now the challenge is, when it is so difficult in offline mode, how do we make our classrooms student-centric, our teaching student-centric? How do we increase students' interest? How do we enhance participation levels in virtual classrooms? So this is very important. And also when I'm saying about online teaching, it involves live classes, video conferencing, webinars, and all other online tools. Online teachers use digital resources to share with their students and are accessible to so many people. So today, what is that I'm doing? I'm doing online teaching. So what I'm doing, I am sharing my digital resources. So it is educating others on virtual platform. That's what I'm doing. It is live classes. It is happening. And it is a student-centric. I'm not very sure now at this point in time. And I'm using my digital resources to share with their students and are accessible to so many people. So today, you need not come to Hyderabad. You need not come to B.R. Ambedkar Open University. I didn't come to B.R. Ambedkar Open University. I am in my office and you are at your respective homes or offices. Still, we are able to learn. It provides a lot of freedom to individuals to learn, teach, and develop skills at their own pace. So this is, for example, this particular recording is provided to you. And the same recording, you can visit several times. But in a offline class, once a student is failed to understand what a teacher taught, so obviously the student has no choice and has to approach again friends or teacher for clarification. But here, if I don't know whether it is recorded. So if it is recorded, so this content can be shared with all of you so that you can learn at your own pace. Teaching online requires strong network connectivity and the computing devices and systems. So you require computers, you require laptops, you require mobile phones, and you require Wi-Fi, or you require internet connectivity. So what is educational technology? So education technology is the field of study that investigates the process of analyzing, designing, developing, implementing, and evaluating the instructional environment, learning materials, learners, and the learning process in order to improve teaching and learning. So now what's happening in our distance education as on today? The syllabus is designed, course material is authored by the course writers. There are editors, they edit, they print, they distribute. There are some contact classes or counseling sessions, followed by assignments. You have to submit, students have to submit assignments, followed by exams and evaluation giving the result. That is what is happening. But here we are now saying, the analyzing, designing, developing, implementing, and evaluating the instructional environment, learning material. So how do we convert my offline content to the online content? How do we make our offline classes into online classes? So today we are expecting all your participants to come to study centers, but without asking them to come, how can I engage? And some students have some work. For example, today is the Saturday. So we were expecting about around 150 participants, but only 100 participants are there. So 50 participants are missing our class. So they can be provided video lectures, recorded class, so that they can have access to the class and they need not listen to the class at a stretch for 1 hour. They can listen to the class for every 10 minutes. They can give a break and they can do it in 2 or 3 days. So why is education technology in education important? So education technology in education. Education technology in education is important because it helps today's teachers to integrate new technologies and tools into their classroom. So what is that now? We are bringing new technologies and tools into our classroom. We are able to upgrade and improve the learner-centeredness of the classroom and also to engage the students in unique, innovative, and equitable ways. So I think we would like to have equal access to all of the class. Teachers are also able to expand their network and connect with other teachers and educators nationally and globally. So sometimes the same class can be taught by 2 of us. So I'm sitting in Hyderabad, my colleague may be sitting in Delhi. So both of us simultaneously can handle your class. Why only Delhi? It could be even San Francisco, except for time difference. If that person is willing to take the session, both of us can be together and can take the class. So educational technologies for effective online teaching. They play a crucial role in facilitating effective online teaching by providing tools and resources that enhance the learning experience. Here are several approaches in which educational technologies contribute to effective online teaching. One is accessibility and flexibility. Online teaching platforms and tools allow students to access learning materials anytime, anywhere. This flexibility accommodates various learning styles and schedules. So if in offline mode, students have to come to the class, but in online mode, wherever they are in a travel, they are in bus. Sometimes, when we handle online classes, people are traveling, people are in airport, people are in train, people are in bus, people are in taxi, people are wherever, in a canteen, restaurant, whatever. So this flexibility accommodates various learning styles and schedules. The interactive learning, educational technologies offer interactive elements such as discussion forums. So, there's something called 4-quadrant approach in e-learning, discussion forums, quizzes, and multimedia content, promoting engagement and active participation among the students. For example, I'm doing online class now. So online is virtual irrespective of geographical location. Yeah. So now, for example, I wanted to interact with you. So one option is, you are chatting. The second option is, I should also ask all of you about the content. For example, what is education technology? What is online teaching? What is interactive learning? What is learning management systems? What is Zoom? What is Google Meet? What is WebEx? So I think, these kind of questions I can ask, you should be answering, and so that I can assess your understanding. But maybe because of time constraint and other things, we are now activity-based learning. Yes. So here, education technologies offer interactive elements such as discussion forums, quizzes. So I wanted to check your learning. I can organize a quiz online. So you would be straight away getting into quiz and multimedia content, promoting engagement. Sometimes I can give YouTube videos, my own videos or other videos also as part of the curriculum. And I can make 5 minutes video, 6 minutes video, 7 minutes video, so that you need not spend 1 hour time on a video. And active participation among the students. We need to ensure that active participation among the students. The multimedia resources, teachers can incorporate diverse multimedia resources like videos, simulations, and interact. For example, I wanted to teach you MS Excel, I can get into MS Excel now and I can teach you MS Excel online. And all of you would be opening your laptops, and you are also going to MS Excel, and whatever instructions I am giving now, you continue that. So that is how I think, people also can, you are like, wherever you are there, that is your lab. Earlier, our practice is people have to come to a lab, their designated classes used to happen. But today, wherever you are, it is your lab. So, and interactive presentations to cater to the different learning preferences and make the content more engaging. So when you have multimedia resources, when you have YouTube videos, I think our YouTube videos are more informative and entertaining than our own lectures. Our own lectures are more like a black and white movies. So we keep on discussing, dumping material and so on. But whereas in YouTube videos, if you look at, they try to take not more than 6 to 7 minutes per concept, and they try to explain the concept in very effective manner with all visuals and diagrams. The personalized learning, adaptive learning platforms use technology to assess individual student progress. So this is, I think, for example, I have completed one chapter and I would like to learn. So I can go for online assessment and I can complete the quiz and compare my answers, and quickly I will get the score. So online use technology to assess individual student progress and adapt content accordingly, providing a personalized learning experience that addresses individuals' needs and pace. The next one is collaboration and communication. Online collaboration tools, video conferencing, and messaging platforms facilitate effective communication and collaboration among the students and between students and instructors. So sometimes I can give you a kind of a project, online project. So that is where, Madhuri Madam, the attention span is a problem. That is where the videos are only 5 minutes and 6 minutes. But unfortunately, in our system, what we are doing is we are almost converting our online platform as like an offline platform. The way we used to teach 2 hours class in online, we also try to teach 2 hours class online. Like the way we teach offline, we wanted to teach online. Obviously, the retention is a problem, engagement is a problem. Then how they are going to engage themselves is also going to be a challenge. So video conferencing and messaging platforms facilitate effective communication and collaboration among the students, between the students and instructors. Okay. The real-time assessment and feedback. Technology allows for immediate assessment through quizzes and online tests, enabling instructor to provide timely feedback to students and address misconceptions promptly. So I write the exam, I get the score, and I get the key. I get the right answers, where did I go wrong, and I can quickly come to know about the way I am learning, So the next one is, when we speak about online teaching, the first important thing is, the learning management systems, LMS. Right, it is LMS. So LMS platforms centralize course materials, assignments, grades, and communication, providing a streamlined and organized structure for both the teachers and students. So when I'm speaking about LMS, it is centralizing course material. So here if you look at that, the platforms are like, one is Moodle. What is the full form of Moodle? Modular, objective-oriented, dynamic learning environment. So Moodle, modular, objective-oriented, dynamic learning environment. Of course, Canvas is another one, and Blackboard is another one. They help organize course content, assignments, quizzes, and facilitate communication between students and instructors. So here I have about 15 kinds of tools which we are going to discuss, and each tool we can discuss for 2 hours. Even if I say Moodle itself, I can discuss for 2 hours. Canvas, I can discuss for 2 hours. It's like a kind of a demo. So that is where, it is going to be very, very vast kind of a content. But here, just we are trying to create some kind of awareness, and rest of it you should know on your own. You should practice how it happens. So here, the course content, assignments, quizzes, and facilitate communication between students and instructors. Then the video conferencing tools, the platforms such as Zoom. Right now, we are on Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet, or WebEx. They enable real-time virtual classes, allowing for synchronous discussions, lectures, and Q&A sessions. So what do you mean by synchronous discussions? Any idea? Asynchronous and synchronous. Synchronous and asynchronous. So synchronous means same time.
Synchronous in the
Like-
same time, whereas
time.
asynchronous is the student can see any time and they can respond in the chat box or the message box depending on their time, sir.
Yeah, that is what synchronous discussions, right now synchronous discussion is happening. So if I ask you to respond, you can respond. The lectures and the question and answer sessions, all these things can happen through video conferencing tools. And most popular video conferencing tool or platform is the Google Meet. But now, we are having Zoom also, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and so on and so forth. So we are going to have some live presentations, live discussions, live interactions, question and answer sessions, question and answer centers. Yeah. So can be interacted with the students who cannot come to offline classes from Nook and the corner of the country, from Nook and corner of the country. Yes. So it is possible. The next one is after video conferencing, the virtual learning environment. The virtual learning environments, platforms like Second Life or Virbella create immersive virtual spaces for collaborative learning, simulations, and role playing. So in ideal situation, what we should be doing is we can open this particular software, particular learning environment, and demonstrate. So how the simulation can run online and the role plays can happen online. For subjects requiring practical application, virtual labs and simultaneous simulations provide a risk-free environment for students to experiment and apply concepts. So sometimes, I wanted to teach physics online. The physics lab also. So I had an opportunity of visiting the Open University of UK. So there I found there is a lab. There is a lab called physics lab online, chemistry lab online. So when you just everything is animated. So you click and you heat it, you add the chemical and different chemicals you add, and the things are animated. You get a smoke, you get a change of color of the liquid and so on and so forth. So this is how they have developed a kind of a system. Even you are at home, you are almost getting a feeling of running the lab, a physical lab. So this is where one is Virbela, that a second life. So for subjects requiring practical application, virtual labs and simulations provide a risk-free environment for students to experiment and apply concepts. So online discussion forums, tools like Discourse or Paiza facilitate asynchronous discussions, providing a platform for in-depth conversations and peer collaboration. So these are the tools we have. Just you can download and you can access, or if you go for some kind of a integrated software, integrated learning management system, all these things are going to be part of it. So otherwise, even sometimes what happens, if you are unable to have this kind of a software, so all the learners are having the kind of a join a WhatsApp group. So they are part of the WhatsApp group, and even now, the one simple experiment what we can do is, one of you can quickly, if possible, quickly create a WhatsApp group. Quickly create a WhatsApp group where all of you are the members, and I would be asking the question and you would be answering through WhatsApp. That is also possible. So then, my WhatsApp, I will connect to the system, and my WhatsApp screen is displayed to all of you. And now, the whole of the discussion, what is happening in the group can be seen by all of us. And you people keep on typing it and somebody else can respond it. That is also possible in the real time by using a simple WhatsApp. You should be able to make the difference. So providing platform for in-depth conversations and peer collaborations. Sometimes, 3-4 of us are sitting at 3-4 places and would like to do a simulation or role play. So each one of us sitting at one place and trying to perform. I can give you one simple example is that during the COVID time, the annual day celebrations of the college, schools especially, happened online. So what exactly happened is, there is a platform like Zoom or Google Meet. People were performing from their respective homes, but everybody else used to watch the kind of a program. So that is a virtual. And also we have seen IIT Bombay conducting convocation by using that augmented and virtual reality. So augmented and virtual reality, I think, they have done convocation by using that AR, VR technology. So this is also quite possible. The convocation, people are everywhere, people are across the globe, and they were able to participate in the convocation or cultural programs. Or maybe why not, when they participate in convocation, cultural programs, why not in a regular teaching? So tools like Miro, M-I-R-O, Miro interactive whiteboards or Jamboard allow for collaborative brainstorming, problem solving, and visual representation of concepts during virtual classes. See, sometimes, what happens, when I wanted to write something on the board. So in a typical offline classroom, I can use the board. But if that board is not available, because, when I am doing in the online class right now, for example, take my own example, I wanted to write something. So where do I write now? Any idea? Where do I write? I need to write something and show you.
Pointer, yes, sir. Pointer down.
Yes, please.
Whiteboard, sir.
Pointer down is there.
Yeah, pointer. Okay. So what I do now, first of all, I need to come out of this. So I think, I can take this pen here. So I take a pen and here I say that, the tools like Miro, I'm now highlighting, you can see. And I wanted to change the color. So color. So this is Jamboard. So I am now trying to do that. So I wanted to underline. So I wanted to say, for example, solve a problem. X plus 4 is equal to 8. X is equal to 8 minus 4 is equal to 4. Like that, I can simply go to draw here, and we have all kinds of pens are here. And now I wanted to remove this. Yeah. This is how, I can, yeah. So now you can select, double click. Yeah, it is over now. And again, I wanted to write, and I can pick a color, and I can do that. So I wanted to draw the graph. This is origin. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. And I wanted to draw the line. I say it is y is equal to mx plus c. Like this, I can say. And I wanted to draw another line. So this is the intersection. Here I draw the perpendicular. This is the intersection point. What is intersecting? So this is kind of an option where we can do. This is one option. What is the second option you can say?
OneNote is also second alternative, sir. We can.
Yeah, OneNote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whiteboard.
So
Very easy task in that.
I go to OneNote. Yes, I go to OneNote. So now, it is asking, since it is a Microsoft product, it is asking for login.
Yes, sir. Login. You can create
asking about my
Hotmail ID. You can also join.
Sir, OneNote is not visible, sir. I think the
OneNote
screen is
not open. Just I am only signing.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I'm just opening gmail.com. So I opened my OneNote. So are you able to see OneNote plain screen?
No, sir. No, sir. Only this PPT screen is visible.
Okay. PPT screen, stop screening, share. This is one problem with this Zoom. So now, you can see that. Are you able to see the plain screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
visible now.
Yeah, this is the plain screen, and take this and use this, whatever you want, a kind of a picture, you kind of a toy, whatever, you wanted to do something, some drawing you can do, or you can write anything. So x plus y, but only thing is, writing with the mouse is always problem. X plus 5 y is equal to 5. X minus y is equal to 1. What is the x value? Cancel this 2. 2x is equal to 6. X is equal to 3. Substituting x is equal to 3. Y is equal to 2. So these are the answers. Like that, I can simply put, x-axis here, y-axis here, a point here, a point here, so join them. And this is y is equal to some mx plus c. Like this, I can just write down. This is another option. The second option. The third option. Yeah, just now you said 2 things. What is the third option? In a class, how do I explain? How do I explain the concept?
Sir, I am using graphic card, graphic board.
Yeah, that is the next issue. Graphic board.
Yes.
So you have a graphic board.
Yes.
So with the graphic board, just you can use the kind of a pen they give.
Yes. Yes.
With the pen,
Interactive pen
the
is
way
there.
you write on the plain paper, you keep on writing, and students can see that. Okay, that is the next option.
Yes.
Okay, that is the next option. What else? That is one. The next one is, some mathematics teachers, they keep on writing on the piece of paper. And they use some kind of a camera.
Yes.
So webcam.
Webcam.
In front of the webcam, they show the paper. That is another approach. The next approach is, you have a mobile. The mobile is connected. In the mobile, you open the Zoom, and the camera is focused to the board. On the board, the way you do that in the daily class, you would be writing on the board. So then there is a kind of a live casting can happen. Yes or no? So you can have a camera stand, kind of a stand. Fix your mobile phone there. Open Zoom there. Then, that Zoom camera would be facing to you, and that webcam or Zoom cam, the mobile phone cam, or even the right now, my webcam is there, and my webcam, right now my face is seen to you. So in front of that, backside, I can keep one board. So I keep on writing that, my webcam can capture. So there are several ways. There are several ways to use this board. Then, yeah. So now again, I wanted to, I wanted to delete all this once it is over. Yeah. So what I do now, I keep on writing everything here, and I can save this file. I can save this file, and one file is plain file without writing anything. So both the files I can send you. So if you wanted to have a plain presentation, you can go for it. Or while we are discussing something in the class, we keep on writing some important points on the slides. So that slides also saved, and whatever we saved here, for example, here we have an interactive whiteboard here. Say, for example, I am now inserting. So what do I insert? You can see now, word art, text box, date and time, object. So I am 97/2003 worksheet. Now you can see. So what now I am doing here, I have opened an Excel file on the PowerPoint itself. We can see Excel file on the PowerPoint itself. Are you able to see this? Are you able to see this? The Excel file.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, in this Excel file, I'll click this. Now, you can see everything has become Excel content here. So if I click here, then, I wanted to see now auto sum. Auto sum will not be seen in PowerPoint. Formatting, all other things are seen. Auto sum. So for example, here, I wanted to write an if command. If you can see now, I'm writing if command. If
Yes,
2
sir.
is greater than 1, 2 is greater than 1, say yes. Now I wanted to teach, MS Excel. Otherwise, I say no. Say no.
Can you zoom out, sir, a little bit?
Say no. So if you click this, yes, no. So it is what it is. Yes, no. So this is how, the Excel is incorporated in a PowerPoint, and simultaneously I am doing a lot of activities on Excel sheet. And if I don't want this, delete this. It's gone. So that means, whatever we do, I think more than whatever we can do in the live classroom, actual classroom, we can do in the class, right? Online class also, we should be able to do that, but it comes out of practice. So this is where again I can go for PowerPoint. So one more advantage here is, then I can stop sharing my screen and I can go to YouTube. And for example, I'll show you something. Since, we said stop share. So here I go to Google, Gmail, Microsoft Teams. So again, I will share Microsoft screens. Where is the screen? Microsoft screen. So what is that now you are seeing? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, right now, I'm doing a course in BITS Pilani, that is MTech Data Science and Engineering. Now you can see that, now I have opened my Microsoft Teams. So this BITS, this is BITS WILP. So BITS WILP is, work integrated learning program. So these are my subjects. So platform orientation session, Python fundamentals, mathematical form. These are the courses offered in my first semester. So if I click this, so this is what is the kind of a content we have, and the PowerPoint, whatever is used in the class, that is also my faculty here. My faculty has added. So this is a home page. This is the class notebook. This is the classwork, and these are the assignments. What are the assignments given to us? What are the grades? Then webinars and so on. The interesting part is, these are the teams. These are the teams. And if I go here, activities, any activities are pending. So these activities are pending. Okay. So this is the teams. So teams, the subjects are given. For example, I go to computer organization session timings and posts, files, and home page, classwork, assignments, grades. These are all recordings for my class. You can see now all my recordings, whatever sessions in every week, 2 hours class, all the recordings are available here. All the recordings are available here. Right. And also the session timings. Session timings also mentioned here, so we can join as and when the session is there. So this is what is the kind of a flexibility we have in this Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams. In the similar way, here we have Canvas. Canvas is the Canvas bits. This is what I think, we are saying Canvas. So, and also we have BITS Pilani library. So because we have online access to the library. So from here, you can go to library and you can see that kind of books, and also the ERP of BITS Pilani. So all and e-learning portal of BITS Pilani. So this is how very systematically, scientifically, now it is 100% online program, 100% online program. And we have online quizzes, we have online assignments, online examinations, and everything we have been doing it. But only for examinations, they are asking us to come to. They are asking us to come to the center to write the examination. But otherwise, everything is happening at home, from home. And every Saturday we have 2 hours each, 8 hours classwork. So this is just, I wanted to demonstrate how professionally they are doing. So one day I wish to see Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University should be able to do this kind of very revolutionary and very kind of innovative e-learning platform they can create, and where the students of B.R. Ambedkar Open University can get real benefit of this online teaching learning practices. I think though I can demonstrate so many things, whatever information I have it, then I can open e-learning portal and I can tell you, I can show you so many things. For example, you can take e-learning portal here. So here, I have to log in with my mail ID and password, and you can see education policy, examination policy, academic regulations, BITS bulletin, how to log in, link for joining online live lectures, and everything is given. And Viva, project work, exam hall ticket, library, my courses, student care help desk, and lot of instructions. I don't know how long it will take university like us to go to this level. View fee receipts. See, for example, and view semester evaluation marks, view and download semester grade sheet, generate electronic ID card. So everything is here. You need not even mail them. You need not approach them. You need not discuss with them. Everything happens here. But if there is a problem, student care help desk is here. There is also a feedback survey. And the student, like that, yeah, I don't want to spend more. Welcome to student care help desk, and registration, course, programs, and everything are discussed here. Anyway, so let us go back to our PowerPoint again. Yeah. So interactive whiteboards, they're Miro, Jamboard, allow for collaborative brainstorming, problem solving, and visual representation of concepts during visual classes. So I can make this again. Yeah. Then next is e-learning authoring tools. E-learning authoring tools, software like Articulate, Storyline, or Adobe Captivate enables instructors to create interactive and engaging e-learning content. So how do we make our e-learning content? So how do we make our e-learning content? For which, there are softwares, which can help us, which can facilitate, and there are templates. There are templates where by using the templates, we can make the e-content, Right. Then also, when for example, I wanted to show a picture, I wanted to show some diagram, then there are some copyright violations. So how they can be addressed? And sometimes I wanted to give a reading material, but majority of the time the reading material what we give to the students, it is also sometimes violating the copyright. So to avoid that, we have something called Creative Commons. So then we Creative Commons, that content is free for circulation and that is free from any kind of proprietary issues. So all these things, you'll come to know once you get into developing the e-learning content. So, but right now, we have textbooks and our textbook course material of our own university. Nowadays, we are not doing any plagiarism check. So straight away, the authors are writing and editors are editing and printing. But whereas very recently, I have authored some 5 units for IGNOU. So they have asked us to provide the plagiarism report with for every chapter. So 5 chapters. So I have provided the plagiarism report, and my plagiarism percentage was around less than 15%, 10, 12, 13% because of the technical terms and other things. So these kind of things, you should be aware when you would like to get into online education. Then virtual labs. Just now I was saying about the virtual lab, how this virtual lab takes place. Platforms such as Labster and Chem Collective offer virtual labs for science and engineering disciplines, providing hands-on experience in a digital environment. There is general observation and is that, the online teaching is not suitable for science courses. Online teaching is not suitable for engineering courses. But just now I have shown the BITS experience of MTech Data Science and Engineering. They have even BTech program. They have the BTech program for working professionals. They have MTech program for working professionals. They have MBA program for working professionals. They are able to manage all these courses online. So they are using the high-end technology and authentication, security, safety, they have been taking care of everything. So platforms such as Labster and Chem Collective offer virtual labs for science and engineering disciplines, providing hands-on experience in a digital environment. The next one is webinars. Even for our own program also. So we have a regular classwork, and also apart from that, there are some webinars we are going to have. So that for which, there is separate channel is available for webinar, for hosting virtual seminars, workshops, and guest lectures for students. So apart from our regular teaching, we use webinars for guest lectures. Some eminent speaker comes, the audience of usually what happens is in our own MTech program, there are about 700 people. The 700 people are made into 2 sections, section 1, section 2, where they wanted to have some personalized attention. But when we go for a webinar, they wanted to club all 700 people because those webinars are for either makeup classes or maybe some hands-on experience, or it is something to do with expert lecture, guest lectures for PG students. Then online assessment tools. So I think you must have heard something called Kahoot, and which is a Quizlet. Quizlet and the Kahoot allow instructors to create interactive quizzes and assessments to gauge student understanding. So usually in offline teaching, what happens is, the evaluation happens after the instruction is over. Whereas for the online classes, the evaluation also can be synchronous. For example, I am teaching now and I am also simultaneously asked you to address some questions online. This is called, online assessment, online quizzes to gauge the student understanding. Based on your responses, I can modulate my teaching. Because when I ask the questions, only 2, 3, 4 active people will respond, whether it's offline or online. But whether I make it online quiz, it is almost mandatory for the people to respond. Then when they are responding, I will come to know their progress. So that is where the real-time monitoring the progress. Then simulation software, simulations in fields like business, medicine, or engineering can be conducted using software like SimScale, Labster, SimFrom for realistic hands-on learning experiences. So sometimes, I can show you some kind of online trading, how online trading takes place. So I can open the window and I can show you how you can, maybe the same kind of a simulator, I can open in all the systems, and each one of you can enter your own values and we can see how the outcome looks like. So like that, the simulation platform for which everybody need not be at the same place and they can be at different places. Then augmented reality and virtual reality. Augmented reality and virtual reality tools such as Google Expeditions or Oculus Rift provide immersive experiences, enhancing the understanding of complex subjects. Though here only we are creating awareness, we are listing, but you can think this PowerPoint I can leave with Anand Pawar, and in turn he can circulate this. So you can go to these particular websites and see how they function, and you can also explore the possibilities of integrating your online teaching learning with these kind of softwares. Then collaborative document editing. Tools like Google Docs or Microsoft Office 365 enable real-time collaboration on documents, fostering group projects and collaborative research. See, I think, the four of us are sitting at four places and all of us are contributing for our project report. We are 4 members. And the 4 members simultaneously we can edit by sitting at 4 places on the single document. The real-time simultaneous editing is possible with this Google Docs or Microsoft Office 365. They enable real-time collaboration on documents, fostering group projects and collaborative research. So this is possible. So we can also use this technique. And online libraries and databases and access to academic databases, ebooks and digital libraries like Justar. For example, I know this, since there is no time, but otherwise, I would have gone to my university library. I can show you my databases and how to access a paper online, so that simultaneously it can happen. I would be sitting here and I would be showing my library resources to all of you, my research papers which are available. So then ebooks. So in my own system, I have a lot of ebooks. I can open a ebook and I can, for example, I wanted to teach a course. So when I'm teaching a course, I need some worked out examples or exercise problems. What do I do now? Just right now I'll show you. So just I will go to my data file. Then I can go for my subject. In subject, yeah. I can probably so now screen, yeah. So are you able to see that book title?
Yes, sir.
This is ebook.
Yes, sir.
Operations research. So now I can take the students to the particular topic. So this is the book, ebook available. So these are the titles. I can show this book. So I wanted to solve a problem for which I can go to a particular problem. Yeah, solved problem. So I just hide the solution and I ask them to go through this particular problem. So just I can zoom it. Yeah. So I'll ask the students to do this problem. So just, I can, as good as a real class. Otherwise, in a offline class, I need to dictate this particular problem to the class. So I can show this and everybody will try to note down the problem and start solving it. Then I ask them to give the solution. So then I can show the solution later. So this is now the solution. So this is the second problem. Like that, I can show the whole textbook. Not only one textbook, multiple textbooks I can show in the class, online class. This is the beauty of online education technologies. Yeah, just I have opened this again. So interactive whiteboards that already we have done. What happened? Yeah, virtual labs, online assessment, augmented reality, AR, VR tools, simulation software, AR, VR tools, augmented reality and virtual reality tools such as Google Expeditions, and that we have seen, collaborative office online libraries. That's what we are here, Justar and News and Google Scholar. So for example, I wanted to show you Google Scholar. So just I can stop here again. I can go to Google Scholar and share the screen again. I can show you Google Scholar and citations and publications, papers, whatever. And I can even open that paper from there and start discussing about it. Okay, ebooks. Then finally, the data analytics is, the education technologies collect and analyze data on student performance, helping instructors identify areas of improvement, adjust teaching strategies, and provide targeted support. For example, there's a YouTube video. I would like to have analytics, how many people have watched and how many people have watched it up to what extent, in how many instances they have watched that thing, and which content is most frequently watched. Everything, there's the data analytics I will get. Based on the data analytics, I'm going to make the decision. The conclusion is, in summary, education technologies contribute to effective online teaching by promoting accessibility, engagement, personalization, collaboration, assessment, and continuous improvement for both students and instructors. Integrating these technologies thoughtfully into online teaching strategies can significantly enhance the overall learning experience. Okay, so here I will stop. I'll stop here. So if you have any quick observations, yes, I would like to do that. Just another 2 minutes. Yes, please. If you have any questions, yes, I will answer. Otherwise, I will stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightening talk on education technologies for online teaching, right from LMS to mobile learning apps and all that. And you have given many examples while using Google Scholar, visiting library, and how to conduct library seminars and all that through online. So thank you so much, sir, for your talk, and we'll be thankful to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Hi,
sir, bye.
Patrick. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Doing well.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Yeah. Welcome to
Thank
Professor
you.
Patrick now. Yeah. Now our another resource person is ready to interact with you all. Friends, we have gone through how academic counseling takes place online, particularly in ODL system. And also we have discussed on, how to advise the student through online teaching. And also what are the tools and techniques, education technologies to be used while making online teaching learning more effective. So, and above all, we need to know some essentials of online teaching learning. So we all of us know when we are in conventional classroom, face-to-face classroom, we'll be within the control of a teacher. Our teacher can able to see all the students, those who are sitting across the classroom and observing what they are doing and all that. And also whether they are interested or not, whether they are participating or not, they are interactive or not, so and so on. But in case of ODL, when the student are away from teacher and teacher is sitting elsewhere and taking class, and students may be sitting at home or at their workspace, or they may be traveling sometimes, or they may be sleeping. While sleeping also they listen and all that. But is it, how far it is correct? Because when you are making something to learn, it should be some systematic and there must be some conducive learning environment. So we have experienced through online teaching, because most of the students are not serious about it. And it is not exception to the teachers also. Teachers also teaching while driving, while sitting at home, and without any formal dress or in a improper way. And sometimes, students and teachers also, while sleeping, they are listening, participating in the class. And sometimes, they are doing some other work and video is on. So all these things are not going to contribute to our learning environment or learning process. So it is in this context what makes online teaching effective. So there are some essential things, are do's and don'ts while going for online teaching. So for this, or in general, we call it online teaching etiquettes, do's and don'ts. For this, we have invited Professor Patrick from Osmania University to give his talk on this, and I request Professor Patrick to touch upon the important points, because as I told you all these things, And I just given very few gist of examples while online teaching, but there are so many other things the students and teachers also doing, which is not correct. And therefore, I would request you to give more emphasis on do's and don'ts, that is particularly online teaching etiquettes, so that we can make online teaching more effective. Thank you, Professor Patrick, for associating with us and joining us for this program. So now this session is over to Professor Patrick.
Thank you so much, sir, for that invitation and the time that is given to me. And I really love the way Rashik sir is.
1 second, Professor Patrick, 1 second.
Yes, sir.
And all the participants are requested to give your feedback at the end of this program. And there is an online certificate available for you. And once you give your feedback, you will get your online certificate. Now, Professor, over to Professor Patrick.
Thank you, sir. I think Professor Pawar has already set the tone by telling what are the do's and don'ts and what kind of things that we find. Let me tell you, the kind of session that you are hearing from morning, it's kind of a learning to all of us. I mean, at times here you happen to be a listener or you're taking a session here, but at times you give sessions. You don't like certain things the way the speaker is doing this. Similar kind of a thing, you want to be empathetic. That maybe the students don't like the way we put it across as well. So I would only go over telling it is empathizing one another. We have learned our lessons very hard during the pandemic, and we're still in the process of learning. And it's not a very conducive thing to do the online kind of teaching learning thing there, but it's all about patience. People talk about the span of attention not being more than 12 minutes or 14 minutes. Most of the MOOC videos that are there, they ensure that it doesn't exceed beyond 15 minutes or so. So it's a little hard when you have to go about asking somebody to sit in front of the screen. I mean, in the classroom, I can figure out, here I get to see only some people who are there with their cameras on. Rest of them put their cameras off and their audio is off there. So, there are times that when I go about with taking online classes, I get to hear all the secrets that are there at home. People keep talking very loudly, a lot of personal things are made public. So those kind of things which can be avoided, probably sir didn't dwell much into the details. At times I get to hear the cooker noises, what's happening in the kitchen gets revealed online. Or there are sometimes very hard things. I come across some sessions wherein somebody put their microphone on and it's very powerful. It picks up even the smallest of sounds that are there. And probably they've gone to the restroom, the flush noise. All those things are very much, audible.
Sir, Patrick says, sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What not clear? That's what the people are chatting, sir. Yeah.
What
There's any information. Your voice, sir, please. Adjust your voice, maybe microphone. Yes, sir. It is not clear.
I think your mouthpiece adjusted towards the mouth. Yeah. It's, I think.
Sound is full. Am I audible now?
Still same, sir. Voice is low, sir. The microphone is
Maybe
not
the
tracking your
microphone,
entire voice.
I think you have to keep closer to your microphone, sir. Keep closer, maybe.
I think I should be audible now. Hello.
Yeah, you are audible, no problem, but it needs to be more clear. That's what the problem.
Clarity is missing, sir. Clarity is missing.
Yeah.
There's some kind of a technical thing. I'll try
Yeah.
my best. If I can't, you could tell me again. You have every right to stop me. And what I would do is, in that case, I'll log in with my mobile as well there. I would try
Yeah,
to.
you can continue with your mobile, sir. Both
would
you
be
can on it. Both if you have any screen sharings are there,
Yeah.
you share your screen from your desktop and your course may be continue with your phone.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yes.
Just a second, no? I'm really sorry for that technical bit.
No audio, sir. Not taking
Sir,
my
it is in mute. Sir, your phone is in mute.
Patrick, sir, your mobile is in mute lo undi, sir. Check చేసుకోండి, please. Please check your phone is in mute. Your voice is not connected.
You are not audible now. Oh, so Patrick, you need to unmute yourself, I think, on mobile phone.
I think I've done that, sir.
Right. Now you are
Yeah,
audible and it is
it's done,
clear
sir.
now.
It's done.
Fine,
It's
fine.
clear.
Please carry on.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think that was a demo of how we need to be technically sound while doing an online class. I will ensure that I would remove this earphones as around. And whatever things that are there, I would try to convey through this mobile phone around. Okay. First things first, let me just tell you, like, at times, it's very much distractful. I would try fixing this issue again next time. I think something wrong with my desktop. Usually I do it with my laptop. There was a meeting that was there and I had to suddenly switch over to this kind of a thing there. And thanks for that reminders I got from the people at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University to ensure that I get in time with the session there. Without much ado, I think I would do the screen share. I think my screen share is visible. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is what I thought with the topic which sir had given. What do we normally go about with expecting, when students are there in the classroom, when I'm there for an offline class, what do I expect out of students? I mean, you can unmute, tell, and mute back. What do I expect out of students?
Attentiveness.
I expect attentiveness. Anything else? Apart from being attentive?
Discipline, sir.
I want them to follow utmost discipline.
Interaction, sir.
I want it to be a two-way. It's called as a dialogue and not a monologue. So we expect them to be
Active
interactive.
participation.
There should be an active participation from the students when we do an offline class.
Two-way communication, sir. Two-way communication.
Yeah, two-way communication. That's where we say it got to be a dialogue and not a monologue. Monologue is one person speak, others
Yes, sir.
listen. So dialogue is
Yes,
when
yes.
both are there to speak and listen and hear. And again, we got to differentiate between this word listening and hearing, because it happens to be mechanical at times there. So that's one more thing that we look into. Any other thing?
Concentration, sir.
I beg your pardon?
Concentration, sir.
Yeah, that comes with focus, how focused they are, and the span of attention. We live in a era where it is to do with an era of disruptions. And let me tell it this way: what happens is, in the era that we live in today, we believe that the students. See, right now I'm taking a class there. There are times I attend online classes, or there could be a temptation. I would like to know about my social media updates. So, I can go about it minimizing this class thing, and I can go to my WhatsApp, I can go to my Facebook, I can figure out what's happening on my Insta or Twitter. And the person on the other end would feel that I'm very much there. My microphone is switched off. Probably I can have my DP around with saying that I'm there very much in the classroom, but I can go all around. See, I still remember a time wherein my friends had to really plead with my parents. Probably I was in my degree or something there. They'd come home and say that, Auntie and Uncle, allow Patrick to come for a movie. I don't know what movie was for a very long time. And probably watching now and then on TV it was, but not going to a theater of something of that kind. And they had to really coax my parents and influence them to send me with them. So it did happen. But today, let me tell you, the kids that are there today, it's not just one theater, but let me tell you, there are hundreds of theaters all embedded in their mobile system today. Call it the OTT platform or Netflix or whatever that's there. It's very tempting. It's very distractful. So they know the timing of screening and other things there. Your class is there as well. And we talk about what is called as multitasking. They may pretend to be there with your class, but they may be with a lot of other things that are there. So that's where we talk about the basic manners that we expect out of students in the classroom there. And is there a way they would like to disrupt or ask you a question? We say there is a digital way that they can put their hands up and ask a question. What we talk about manners that are there in an offline classes, we talk about net equity. That is that internet etiquettes that are there in an online teaching. So I would have called this as navigating the digital classroom with a bit of respect and professionalism. We are all teachers there. So when you have to do that, it is very compelling statement when you say that the importance of maintaining a positive and professional kind of learning, online learning environment that we go about with creating. So the phrase that is there, that is navigating the digital classroom with respect and professionalism, it is an intention to guide individuals through challenges, opportunities that are presented by digital classrooms, while emphasizing on the core values of respect and professionalism. It is a mutual thing. Sometimes people say, give respect and take respect. The thing is, if I would respect a student there, it's automatic. I have to go about with giving him so much in the class there. He values a session and he would feel that he would miss out something if he loses focus even for a second there. If I go about putting the same routine things, there are different models of learning. The other day I was talking about participant-centered learning in one of the colleges. And it says that, you got to check out as a teacher that we vary. Some people are visual kind. Some people are auditory kind. Some people are to do with reading and writing kind. And some people are kinesthetic kind. We call it VARK. Some would really catch watching a YouTube video. They can emulate, they can repeat whatever they have seen and everything, whatever. This session has been recorded. So probably you would ask the link from somebody there, they will provide, and you can figure out as to what was conveyed. The session which was prior to me by Rajshekhar sir was very technical. He was trying to take you through different LMSs. He has shown you an ebook. He had gone about with showing you different other things that are there. And you want to figure out how to do it. So you can always go back to the video there. That is the visual part. Now, if you have a mobile phone or a smartphone with you, you do have a Spotify as well. So, you get to hear the auditory part of it, and you're still able to capture what the message is, the essence that is there, and you're able to learn by listening, right? That's the auditory part. I'm been a kind of a person like, whenever I have to speak or when I have to take an exam there, right from my school days, it has been a kind wherein I read and I write. I mean, that is where I find it to be an effective learning method to me. That I come from a school of thought where my teachers have told me that writing once is equivalent to reading twice. So I'd been doing it over the years. And the third thing is, I have come across people, especially, let's say, practical exams like computers and other things there. Theory, they score 100 upon 100. But you take them to a lab and you expect them to execute a program. I mean, they're all with surprises. They look at you with amusement. They say that, they're not able to execute. The thing is, they're too good with theory, but when it comes to practice, they're not able to do it. So, unless and until you give them some hands-on practice, I mean, that is where you talk about the kinesthetic part of it. If I teach somebody how to swim, how to drive by showing them a video, I think that would have been very easy. But put them on a steering wheel and ask them, this is what it is. This is what is the accelerator, brake, and clutch, and this is how you have to use it. I think it'll be a different ball game altogether. So you're talking about kinesthetics. So, we'll have to be very much acquainted, like when we are doing the online class too, that people are, they say that a picture speaks 1,000 words. So, how do you go about with depicting pictures, the visual part of it? I mean, you happen to see now that my voice was not audible, and it was Ravi Tati sir, a good friend, who went about with telling, probably I didn't check what was going on in the chat. And he said, people said that the voice is not audible or it is not lacking clarity. Then I thought about, why don't I do this thing that I would speak it with my mobile and I would do the screen. I think there is something going on in someone's house there. We get to hear such kind of sounds, right? Okay. I would only request the members kindly put your audio on mute, so that your microphone on mute, so that we get along with the session and get some benefit out of it there. So we are talking about, how we go through the challenges, and there are plenty of opportunities at one time. Just imagine how much of time is saved by this kind of a session which Pawar sir and his team are organizing. The logistics, the time, and a lot of other things that are there. There's a lot of things which you can immensely get. Equally, there are challenges as well. Let's say all of a sudden there is an internet snap. Do I have a plan B for it? Now I should be ready with my hotspot to get connected. If there is a power breakdown, how do I go about it getting connected? Do I have a power backup? If I don't have it, what do I do? So these are certain things that we have to be very careful about. That sometimes they're very challenging as well. And we have to emphasize the core values of respect and professionalism when we do the online classes. Now, what we go about with looking at is, I just checked if the slide share is happening or not. The navigation part of the digital classroom it indicates that the digital classroom is very dynamic, but it has got a lot of potential to be working in a complex environment. It's not just that you switch on a computer, the internet is there, and you can just go about with it. It's much more beyond those things there. Now, this is what it implies, that the participant need guidance to effectively traverse and make the most of the online learning experience there. Now, here the participants, now it happens to be you. But when you are trying to take lessons or classes on behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University there, now you have the students who are your participants. Now, they should get the best out of it. Let me get this English word which talks about being effective. Now, there are two words. One is efficient and one is effective. If you do the right things in a right way, now that is where you said to be effective. What everybody can do, you are also doing it, you are efficient. But if you do it in a better way, see, the basic idea is to ensure that the student learns. There is reading material that is given. You're trying to supplement it through the weekly videos, online TV shows. A lot of recorded things that are there. There are YouTube lessons, plenty of these things. But, when you get to interact with the students, are they able to make the best out of this online learning experience? And as a teacher, are we navigating them? Are we putting them in the right direction? The onus lies on the teacher. Then when we talk about the word respect, it is importance of treating others with consideration and regard. You can't treat them as chaff. You can't treat, you got to respect their time. You got to see that they are coming there. So you got to give them the best. You got to fool around there, right? You can't do that. So here it says that it highlights the need for a positive and an inclusive online atmosphere. Everybody is treated on par there, where you appreciate the diverse perspectives and background of their peers. And people could be with different kinds of things. They have their own slang, the culture, the traditions, everything could be different. But here we are trying to make it inclusive. We said on this kind of a thing there, all are on par. And the professionalism part of it, it stresses that the expectation is on maintaining a high standard of conduct and behavior. High standard, right? What is expected out of me? So this indicates that the participants are expected to approach the classes with the same kind of professionalism. When I asked in the beginning, you told me a lot of answers. You want attentiveness, you want them to focus, you want it to be interactive. It should be a two-way and not a one-way kind of a communication there. Now, you want that kind of a professionalism that would be there in a traditional face-to-face classroom setting. You want that to be replicated in a online setting as well there. So here, as Sir has said, we talk about certain do's and don'ts kind of a thing. That is what we'll focus. So in a traditional classroom, it refers to the social norms. We talk about manners. We talk about behavior that is expected in a physical face-to-face kind of an educational setting. Now, this guidelines helps us maintain a positive and a respectful learning environment for both students and educators. Now, let me tell you, when I was doing my master's there, I had a different kind of a teacher altogether. Professor Achalapati was my guide and mentor and teacher there. Now, he would tell that if you get a doubt, don't hesitate to stop me. You could go about it asking the question when and where it is. And if I'm not able to connect with you, because at times with age and other things there, I could have forgotten where did I stop when in the process of answering your question. So I could ask you to tell me where did I lost, and somebody could remind me where we were. But don't postpone your questions. Take it as a FIFO method and not as a LIFO method, that is last in first out, but take it as and when it comes. But in offline, in online, it becomes very difficult to control. So it's like towards the end, you would say you would have a time for Q&A. Either you go about with unmuting your video and audio, come live and ask questions, or you can go about with leaving it on the chat for the facilitator to take the questions and answer you. And there are a lot of other things I've heard from my teacher there, wherein he says like somebody is coming in or going out of the class there. That was at a PG level. Probably in school and other things, we were taught that we got to take the permission of the person to leave and the permission of the person to enter. And you would have heard may I come in, teacher, or may I go out, or you have something emergency thing to attend to. So you would take permission. And I learned from my teacher that he wouldn't go about it telling he had certain rules which were very clear. If someone is coming into the class, don't ask my permission. If someone is going out of the class, don't ask my permission. But ensure that you're not distracting me, you're not distracting your neighbor who comes in and goes out of the class there. That's something which was there in a traditional classroom kind of an etiquette. And, when we used to answer or ask questions, there were teachers who used to demand we got to stand to our feet and ask the question. He would say, you don't have to stand to your feet there. You can sit and ask me the question there. There are people who would like to go about with calling it as disrespectful to an elder, like when you sit and ask kind of a thing there. But on an online platform, you set the tone. You try making rules and regulations very clear to the students. Anybody has got doubts, you got to do that, or you have to ask this way there. And you got to gracefully exit the group, not making a lot of noise or trying to draw my attention, because, you're holding the other people who are attending, you hold them to a ransom. So you can't do that. So, we have certain rules and regulations for running an online classroom. At times, we spend time connecting with where did we stop in the last class. We always talk about a sermon's formula and taking a class. First is you got to tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you have told them. That is the summary part of it, right? And connect them with what you have done the earlier. And we always talk about this principle. When you take a class, you got to take the students first to what they know, how they can connect with your topic. Then take them to the unknown. From the known, you take them to the unknown, and you got to drive them back to the known there. So, you got to take them. The entire teaching, learning process is a journey. You got to take them along with you, and you have to go about with making them get through with the entire session there. So you'll have to go about with ensuring that that positiveness is maintained, that respect, that learning environment where both it's equally important for both the educator as well as the student there. Now, here you have to be very clear about communicating what is expected out of the student. You got to tell what are the guidelines. I mean, I make very clear, I do take classes as a guest faculty, or there are times that I've done an entire course as a guest faculty for some institutes, maybe 5 days at a trot, 4 to 5 sessions a day. And I've gone about with completing, and I've told them, this is what is my mid, this is what is my internal, this is my end term, this is my end exam, and this is what I expect out of you. What are my course objectives? This is the syllabus. What are my assignments? How am I going to assess? What are the due dates? I made everything clear. So there is nothing like late. I mean, once I've entered the marks online, if I go about with entering late, the system is so well calibrated that it deducts 5 marks from the students, and I have to request the controller of exam to say that don't consider it as a late. I mean, there was some kind of a technical glitch on the part of the student or my end. Clear communication there. Right? The next thing is punctuality. I still remember many years back when I was attending the interview at Usmania University for getting the job here. I had a panel of members with the registrar, the vice chancellor, and members of the selection committee, the experts. There was dean and head at that time. And I remember Professor Suleiman Siddiqui. I mean, he was asking me a lot about my educational qualifications, my experience, what subjects do I teach. He took a demo of mine. He asked me to come back and take my chair. And he was trying to check on my teaching aptitude. And he asked me a question like, according to me, as to what are the qualities of a good teacher. Then I was telling about knowledge, about experience, how do I convey, good communication, subject, and all that stuff. He said, there is one thing which you missed out, Patrick. He said, the hallmark of a teacher is punctuality. You got to be on time. Now, I've seen what Rajshekhar sir was doing. He was trying to dwell a lot. And when he has seen that his time is coming close, even I would do the same at times there. Like, I mean, I'm having a check with my watch, which is kept on the table here. And I do have the clock, which is reminding me on the computer as well. So I know I have to respect time there. I need to go about with being punctual for the virtual meetings, coming on time and finishing on time. There is a lot to do with being punctual. I mean, you respect each other's time there. And that's something which is considered to be the currency of life. And I still remember some teachers telling, if I make 5 people waiting, I'm not late by 5 minutes. I'm not actually late by 5 minutes, but I wasted 25 minutes of 5 students put together. I mean, I've come from that kind of people who have taught me with values and other things. How do I conduct? The best part I would tell you is when it comes to the teachers who teach at UG and PG level, we have not done a B.Ed degree or something. Now look at it, if you have to teach in a school, B.Ed is mandatory. But you have to teach in a junior college or degree college or a university kind of a thing there, you don't require a B.Ed. All it takes is take that NET exam. I mean, you have that canned answers for teaching aptitude. So you know how to answer it. So if you're qualified in that exam, it is as good as you know everything about teaching. And when we started our careers, probably we have emulated or we have copied somebody, or when we attend certain sessions, we said, this guy speaks well. I mean, people appreciated him a lot. So let me copy his style of teaching and put it that way. I mean, that's something wherein you miss out on your originality. So that's something which you have to be careful on. So punctuality is a hallmark of a teacher there. Coming on time. I mean, everything got to be ready. People will go panicky on the other end, or you'll have some people in the group leaving or quitting the group because you're still not prepared. So if the class is at 9, probably you got to start your preparations well ahead to ensure that everything is there. At times you got to go about with ensuring that the connections and everything goes well. I mean, I was quite confident that everything was going well. I didn't check my audio, and somebody had to remind me that my audio was not with clarity. So I had to work out another plan that way there. And you have to be technologically ready. Ensure that you're very well prepared before the session. You got to ensure that there is a stable internet connection, a working microphone, a camera. You got to familiarize yourself with the online platform. I still remember Rajshekhar sir showing all that Microsoft group that is there. I mean, there are a lot of other platforms that are there. Here we are working out this session on a Zoom platform. Quite comfortable. We do it on a Google Meet, or a lot of other things that are there. There are some subtle differences that exist between one platform to the other platform. I mean, you press the wrong button, then you could end up with some panic-stricken things that can happen there. So you got to get yourself acquainted. You got to acclimatize. You got to familiarize yourself with that online platform. And that is very essential. That is the technology readiness. See, we don't come from a technical background. Now, why my sound is not audible to you, I can't fix it. Maybe later I'll call somebody from the lab and ask, check out what has happened. Why is that my voices or my audio is not with clarity? You know, my microphone is working well and the ear cords and everything are doing well. Still people complain the things. And I'm not the one to rectify it. Probably the technical guy can do it. But basic technical things we got to be aware of. Next thing is you got to be engaging in the way you deliver your classes. I don't know how many have heard Rajshekhar sir again. He did my job easier by speaking the technical aspects. He said you got to keep the people glued to the system. I mean, you got to get the message engaged. You know, I don't know how many have heard. He told about doing quiz through a platform. How many really know or recall that method, what he said? He said, yeah,
Kahoot.
one guy has recollected. It is Kahoot.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, I have finished my entire lecture. At the end of it, I give them a link in the group or in the LMS and say that get connected. We would like to check how much you have learned out of my session. And, you know, it's so gripping kind of a thing there that they get involved answering the questions and you get some points which go up in that Kahoot. And people can, I mean, it's not a kind of, it's very dynamic and it is not static kind of a thing there. And, you know, you get that dopamine. There are a lot of these chemicals that keep working in us. We call it dose, like dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, serotonin. So, you know, sometimes we go about it posting something in the social media. We get a lot of comments or people compliment whatever we have done. So, you know, that's something which works in spurts. That is called dopamine. So I'll tell you, you get that dosage happening when you use that quiz platform there. I mean, there is one which is called Mentimeter as well. I mean, how many people say yes, how many say no, and how many say neutral? I mean, that's something like I can work out a poll, or then I can use the chat for discussions. There is a lot of that multimedia tool. That is where Sir went about it, speaking to you about the tools that are there, which can enhance the content delivery. Now, in the recent Sunday, let me tell you, I skipped church to stay at home. I had gone about with wanted to learn more about the AI tools. I didn't know about the time, so I booked it and I was there into it. I would tell you that, you know, people had their own fears when PowerPoint presentations had come in. They said, if it can do everything, what is the role of a teacher in the classroom? But then, you know, we had people who were called as PowerPoint teachers. I would tell you, still I'm using a PowerPoint here. But suddenly, if the PowerPoint snaps, I must still be able to connect with you. And I would tell that the power should be in the person making the point and don't over rely on the power. PowerPoint is a tool. It should aid in teaching and it should not be all and end all of your entire process of delivery of the classroom there, right? So you got to use technology. You got to use multimedia. If it supports, it enhances the teaching learning process. You got to figure out. I mean, I would have learned it somewhere and someone showed me something. It was so gripping. I mean, so engrossing. Recently, I did a training program for the railway officers. They said, we don't want anything to PowerPoint. We don't want a lecture mode. We want the entire session to be done based on only gamification. You got to teach them management principles, but you got to do it through games. I mean, these are all senior people. I mean, they have low receptivity. You ask them to come and speak, they can do it for hours, but you ask them to sit and listen, they'll doze away. I mean, you got to figure out as to how you would work out with games and the kind of enthu and the kind of energy level that was there was too high. But, you know, when I'm talking about an online kind of a thing, there can be certain things, you know, quizzes and games, which can be worked out as well. And that's something which you have to work, and it is an interactive element. It is not one way kind of a thing. You know what's happening. Others can know, you know what where who's doing kind of a thing there. So that's something which you'll have to use it. And there is a lot of sources. Okay, there is a lot of the sources which you can create quizzes for yourself, and you can how you go about, probably we heard about KBC and other things there. But with your class too, you can go about with making the class very gripping, very engaging. And people will wait when your next session would start off. You got to be creating that kind of an aura or interest in your class there. Then you have to have an active presence throughout the online session. You got to engage with the students. You got to respond to their questions, and you got to foster a sense of community, even if it is a virtual classroom. People got to feel a sense of belongingness to that classroom. That is where you talk about the active presence. Next thing is you got to be accessible. Sir was saying about LMS. We said about something to do with Google Classrooms, right? You make course material accessible to all the students. He was saying that he had a lot of ebooks and he has prepared a lot of material. PowerPoints are there. You got to provide alternate formats of content. You got to consider diverse learning needs. You talk about diverse learning needs. I mean, when you go for the online classes, it could be that not everybody could attend your classes through that online part. So when you can put a recorded version and you can put that video link in the LMS there, you are trying to look for an asynchronous and a synchronous student. It's not just you're available. You say that I don't permit recording, so you only have to listen and learn. I mean, that doesn't work. I said when I'm talking about diverse learning needs there, I'm looking at someone like me. I call myself to be a slow learner. There could be many in this group who are there who are fast learners. I mean, there are people who are visual, they're auditory, they're kinesthetic, or some of them, some people, when the lesson is going on, probably you take notes very actively, right? So you believe in reading and writing. I said about VARK, right?
Yeah.
So you got to ensure compatibility, which will assist the technology. What you are doing, the technology should aid the way you go along with the classroom. Then you got to go about it giving a timely feedback, provide timely and constructive feedback. You don't have to be harsh. And when you say criticism, they say it is constructive and destructive. We are not here to go about with putting somebody low. You got to raise people, right? You like that praises, you like that subtle motivation. I mean, I try to tell you where you are lacking. I got less marks, fine, but tell me where I was lacking so that I can work upon it in my next assignment or a next submission. Where did I go wrong? Tell me. Did I go about wrong in the way I presented it, or my answer itself was wrong, or the sources from where I studied went wrong? Tell me where it is there. So I would be able to improve myself. There should be a room for improvement. So this will help a student to understand their progress and areas of improvement. You got to encourage participation, right? Through discussions, group activities, virtual interactions. You got to foster a sense of community. That's very essential. I mean, they get a sense of belonging to that group. I mean, that's something which has to happen. And then you got to be flexible to understand the challenges that the student may face. I'll tell you, there's a huge disparity. Maybe I have the convenience. If it's not the desktop, I can do it through the laptop or I can do it through the mobile. I have a lot of those things. I'll tell you, who are the ones who come for these distance mode education? There can be one extreme. People are looking for promotions. People, those are working. They can't afford a full-time regular course that way. That is one class. And there are people who can't afford the fee of a regular course. Let me tell you, I have done my MBA from IGNOU. And I like that kind of a thing wherein every June and December, you have an exam and the submission of assignments, the way they evaluate, the way they went about. I mean, today you're talking about multi-exit and multi-entry mode through NEP, but I have experience when I did my MBA. I did a semester, I got a diploma in management, then a PG diploma, then a PG diploma in financial management, and an MBA at the end of it there. Now people are talking about that multi-entry and multi-exit. So you got to be flexible in understanding the challenges a student may face in online learning. You got to accommodate reasonable request for extensions or adjustments when necessary. Probably say that time is not conducive. Can we go about with stretching, or can we have it another time there? I mean, we're not talking about trying to give a big leeway to the students, but being more accommodative. We are not talking about undue request, but we are talking about reasonable request to make the adjustments that are there. I mean, can you repeat, or can you go back to the earlier slide, or can you go about with putting this entire content? Can you share your PPT? Okay. Then there is something called as professional conduct. Now, the demeanor, the way we go about with working out in the online interaction, you got to use appropriate language. Kindly avoid slang. Dress up professionally. We always teach it in body language, and I wish the teachers also read what exactly is this body language. We talk about eye contact. We talk about facial expression, voice. I think I would share. I think there's one of the persons who's distracting with their microphone on. Somebody go about with. We call it as multitasking. Someone is pretending to listen and their microphone. Vamsini Venkat Sai. Now I think it is switched off, right? I said about the model of behavior that is. Venkat Sai garu, దయచేసి మీ మొబైల్ లో ఉన్న మైక్రోఫోన్ ని మ్యూట్ లో పెడతారా? Okay. Okay. Now I'm talking about privacy. You know, when I logged in into the Zoom platform, it told me that the session has been recorded. Now, I can't allow anybody to record without my permission. And there's a lot which goes into this professional conduct. I didn't tell it out. It's about your appropriate language. I mean, I was just looking at, I'll share it probably with Pawar sir. I think it's lapse of memory or something there. I share it with my students also. There is a very beautiful tool online available wherein you can record your session and it gives a very beautiful feedback of your own session there. I mean, sometimes we have fillers or we call it as cliche. Sometimes, you know, we tend to use the word namely, particularly, are you with me? Are you listening? Are you understanding? Hope you're with me there. Hope I'm audible. How many times during the online classes it does not happen? You know, we have our mind is running at a faster pace than our mouth, or at times our mouth runs faster. And we are trying to connect one sentence to the other. We are buying time. Or there could be that noises that we make of kind of a thing while talking there. So the thing is, that particular thing, it records and it gives you a feedback. It tells you how you are showing your eye contact. A lot of those things which comes in with that body language part of it there. It tells you about how many filler words you used. And it tells you whether the content was relevant. So beautiful that tool is. I'll share it with sir a little later. It talks about dressing professionally for video lessons, video sessions that are there. And the model of behavior, you know, I did one thing there. Probably somebody from the office in front thought I'm doing something worthwhile. They brought me a cup of tea there. But the thing is, I'm secluded. I'm bolted from inside there. I don't think there is much of noise from my side, which is coming to your end as distraction or something there. So the thing is, as a teacher, I don't like distraction. So as a student, even I don't like distraction as well. So I got to respect the privacy and security. So you got to avoid sharing sensitive information or secure online sessions. See, I tried getting into the Zoom. It told me I had to enter the password. So there is that number that was there for this. So, you know, when I tried logging on with my mobile, it asked for a password. So I went back again, wrote it on the book to ensure that I typed the right one and not the wrong one there. And you got to tell the members that you don't allow anybody else apart from this group to join in. There is a free session going on by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University. It is related with the online etiquettes or something there. Why don't you attend? Please don't do that kind of a thing there. So the thing is, you have to ensure that sensitive information and you got to have that secure online session. So there are times like, you know, as a host, somebody controls or I myself, I would know who's there waiting and I allow only those people to come in. And someone whom I'm suspicious of, I believe that they are not my student. And there are certain platforms where I can remove a person out of the group also when he's distractful or other things there. Or there is something like by wrongful means he has got an unauthorized access to the online class, then I can say politely that you don't belong to it. Kindly get away from here. So you'll have to look for the tech support. You got to have a clear guidance on various things. People like animated stuff rather than having it on black and white kind of a thing there. using the channel which you are comfortable and the students are comfortable as well. I have seen Microsoft Group or a lot of other platforms that are there. There are a lot of technical things that come into it there. So you got to go for something which is very simple. And you got to be very clear with your instructions about assignment, assessment, what activity, and you got to tell about how many points. And if there's a confusion, you got to clarify them again and again there. And you got to be adaptable to unexpected challenges. Now, this is what has happened. You had a live demo of mine. The thing is, I could have said, no, I'm able to hear my voice very clearly. If you don't hear, what is it? So I said, fine, you're not able to hear it. I'm holding my mobile in my hand and speaking for a little over 40 minutes now. I said, there is a technical issue or there is a disruption. I have a contingency plan. What was that? When somebody also suggested, I was also ready with it. I'll do the slide sharing through my desktop, but I'll communicate with my mobile phone, which would make it effective. So I was prepared for that adaptability, or I was ready for that kind of an adjustment, right? And I got to promote what is called as, with what we normally talk about etiquette in an offline class. If we do it on an internet, we call it as netiquette, right? So you got to set the expectations for online etiquette or netiquette. You got to encourage respectful communication, and you got to address disruptive behavior very promptly. In the sense that you don't give a scope for others, he's not mindful of what is happening, so he can go along that way, kind of a thing there. You have to be careful on that issues there. And here you got to foster everyone. You got to consider diverse perspectives. Let me tell you, there are people who are housewives, or there are people who are just come out of college. They are working professionals. There are a lot of those diverse perspectives when they come for Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. So you got to get all that experiences, diverse backgrounds, everything going, and how do you connect with everyone there? That's a challenge. I'll tell you, teaching in a distance classes there, you get people of different age groups. You go into a normal, regular college, a UG or a PG college that's there, you get people probably of the same generation, probably of the same age group. But when you get to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar or any of the open schools that are there, open distance learning and other things, that you get age could be very diverse, experiences. I mean, you give theory, people have some practical solutions for somebody who comes from an industry. But a student could be very bookish. He may have bookish knowledge, and he would be devoid of experience and other things there. Now, it's very challenging as to how do you go about tackling all these things and address it at one go, right? And then we talk about professional development. As a teacher, you have to stay updated. I said Sunday last, I went about with spending quality time to learn new tools. How do I go about with getting myself more productive? I would tell you, like, as a teacher, I tell that you want or not, AI is come to stay. I mean, there is some fears. When I said about PowerPoint replacing, people had fear that AI will replace a teacher. Today, I think you can do your, financial planning done through a robot also there. So, I've heard about some schools that are there in Pune and other places where robot is teaching to the students. So is it a day not very far off where I can get replaced? I would tell you, come what may, if I am a continuous learner, if I am a lifelong learner, there is no threat to my profession there. I need to be updated. I have to be updated on online teaching methodologies, tools, best practices. I must know how to engage, and I have to be professionally developed. I have to work on my skills. If I go about with teaching tomorrow with my yesterday's skills, I'll be treated as a Jurassic Park animal. I'm outdated. I'm obsolete. So the thing is, I'll have to go about with getting myself enriched on a daily basis there. So from the student's point of view, whatever I was speaking, it was from the teachers there. When it comes from the student's point, we say we got to arrive on time, and we expect them also to be arriving on time. So, people keep coming, the people waiting, the people who already joined into the group, and you started the lesson, and someone calls your attention and says, sir, there are some 15 of my friends waiting outside. Allow them inside. And, I stop the class, stop the flow, minimize, come out of my presentation mode, go outside and check out who are the ones that are there, then allow them in, and then get back. These are things which disrupt the flow of the class. So thing is, make it very clear to them as to they got to be on time. And they have to put everything on mute, whether they are using multiple things like tablet or any other electronic devices that should be silenced, or turned off during class. Somebody reminded me that my mobile phone also was on mute. I was trying to think that, I connected, but it was on mute because I just came from a meeting and I didn't want any ringtones of mine to distract that meeting, which was there with the Vice Chancellor, with the Autonomous College principals a little while ago. So the thing is, we got to practice that kind of a thing to be mindful. Probably I missed out. I joined. I didn't expect that I'm going to join with my mobile phone. I thought I'm using only my desktop. So the thing is, I kept my mobile phone on a silent mode there, right? And then you got to respect personal space. You got to observe the distances, personal space contributing. I mean, you create a kind of an environment which is very conducive for teaching, learning process to happen, all right? And then there should be an active listening. And you go about drawing their attention. And you got to avoid digressing, side conversation, distractions, which would demonstrate the attentiveness going for a toss there. And you do have this wonderful tool. I did find some faculty when even Rajshekhar sir was speaking or when Pawar sir was sharing there, they were trying to raise their hands. Probably we would have that at the end of my session. I would have somebody asking questions and I would answer it. When students have a question, they have a way that they can raise their hands in a physical class. And here you have an electronic way that they can still raise their hand. So you know that there is somebody who has got, and the platform will go about with driving our attention that somebody has some clarity to be done. So why don't you go about with answering, right? So that allows some opportunity for participation. And participation got to be very active. And that depends upon how much we get into a class which is very engaging, asking them questions in between, making them to participate through activities. And you got to make that environment dynamic, vibrant. And, one of that participant-centered learning, it says that it got to be collaborative learning environment, wherein you learn from peer to peer also. When somebody has asked a doubt in the chat there, it is not just for that one person, and you're not going one-to-one to answer it. You got to tell why this thought didn't come to others as well. You got to learn from your friends as well. That is collaborative learning. And dress code, I said, we need a dress code. So you can't be in your casuals or pajamas at home there. And you can't be in your night dress as students. Just got up of sleep and trying to attend the class. So you got to adhere to some guidelines. You got to be professional. You got to be respectful to others when you come in there. And you got to respect others' perspective. This is very essential. At times people things go out of the hand where they go about chatting nonsense in the groups there. And you got to go with ensuring now and then how you could contribute to that positive, inclusive learning environment as well. And you got to telling them that late submissions will not be accepted, and you got to be telling what would happen if it is late. I said my system's got this. I mean, I'm very clear. In some places that I go, they say that if you submit late, marks get deducted. So if you are willing to take that, you could do that, right? And then the kind of language that the instructor used to the peers, you got to respect them. Calling somebody as a Mr. I mean, you would get people who are very elderly to you. There are a lot of youngsters attending this thing there. But, there could be some elders. There are times that I take classes in the university where there are people of my father's age also there. They're attending the MBA courses. I don't lose anything. Just because I'm a professor, I call him with a name. He's many times 20, 30 years elder to me. And I call him with this, I call them as sir, I call them ma'am. Nothing wrong with that, right? So you got to create that kind of an atmosphere with the polite language. And you got to avoid what is called as disruptive behavior, that talking out or making loud noises or engaging in distractful kind of a thing there. Got to tell the students that these things will not be accepted. And following a class policy. I said you make things very clear in the beginning before even you start as to what is required attendance-wise, or when it comes to ethics and integrity standards, and how do we make the entire learning process a rich experience, a smooth transition. It's a journey. You got to go about with making them like, what do you get? It's not a degree or it's not accumulation of certificates, but knowledge which they can practically apply. If you make them relevant, if you can teach them, I'll tell you, as teachers, you need to learn. There is a new trend which is coming up where you talk about corporate storytelling. And I think I get some odd noises, not surely from my end, but I would only tell you that this thing is there wherein Bedtime stories, what we have heard as kids, we have not forgotten till date. Fairy tales, we have not forgotten till date. The same way, if your lecture is being told in a way, I mean, how is that the movies are so captivating? Once you watch it second time, third time, I think you'll tell the dialogues. But when it comes to a book, the moment you open it, you fall asleep. The moment you open a PowerPoint, you switch off the students to say that they're going to go for a sleep or a doze. I mean, you don't have to do those things there. I mean, how do you keep them gripping? How do you, ensure that they're engaged? They're there with you and they don't miss out your side there. Those things depend on how well prepared you are. Preparation is very important. You don't go for a class unprepared. Now, that's something which is very essential. So I would stop it here. I stop my screen share. And I think it's getting very close to 5 o'clock. So if there are any questions that are there at your end, let me check. I think apart from my audio related issues, if there is anything else you'd like to convey, I would like to take it. Yeah, I got some thank you messages. ODL2 research, yes, there are people doing PhD from IGNOU. There are a lot of people doing PhD even from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University there. Yeah, time management is very vital, and I think I stuck. And I can't think of a better person who reminds of time that is Pawar sir. And on and off, let me tell you, I get down from the metro, he tells you got to come at that station, and he'll be bang on time. And he's someone like you, if you're not punctual, I think he's not going to give you another call there. I mean, I know with experience, I've learned it with him there. And there are many senior professors also who are very much scared of Pawar sir when it comes to punctuality. I'm not praising him because I'm seeing him live on the video now. But the thing is, that's the way it has to be, punctuality. So thanks there. I see people coming out with a lot of other things saying that it is informative.
Sir, can I ask you one question?
Right, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. During your session, you said like there is one software where it will rectify.
Yeah, I think I
Can
need
you please
little
share
time,
that
little
name?
time. I would put all that 10x things. Let me say how we can use ChatGPT to go about with making a PowerPoint. You have PowerPoint, you have an outline. But how do you go about it? Getting the script, you can do that. About that video, surely by evening, I'll share that resource with sir. I said, I have a lapse of memory. I'm not able to recall that Audify or what it was. I'll tell it to sir for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Sir would share it with you.
Any participants to interact with Professor Patrick? Please, 1 or 2 more. Otherwise, we will wind up the session and we will start short valedictory session now, and our guest is with us now. Can we stop here? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, all the teachers, colleagues, those who are participating since morning. Yeah, if anybody is there. Yeah, if any participant wants to interact, please.
Sir, I would like to ask a question. Sir, very good evening. This is Bharati Kotikalpudi.
Okay.
Sir, I have one question, sir. During online teaching, sometimes it is so necessary that we take some presentations from the students also.
Yes.
From students. So in that, I happen to come across many challenges because students are not attentive and they don't present anything properly, except 1 or 2. So how do we go about with this part, sir? How do we make them present effectively? What are the tips that you can provide us so that we can effectively implement them?
Ma'am, I think it is to do with the behavioral issue. There are 3 words. We talk about sympathy, apathy, and empathy.
Yes,
you got to
sir.
go about telling them sympathy is just lip service of feeling pity. Apathy is being stone-hearted. Empathy is put yourself in the shoe of the person and understand what the problem is. Now, if you go about with not just 1 or 2 students, but every student will have to make a presentation. And you don't have to have very lengthy presentation. Very short presentation there. And they would understand, when they are not attentive, they feel that empathetically that, what could be running in others' mind when they present, when I'm not attentive as well. It's a behavioral issue. And when you go about with trying to tell, when the presentation is going on, all the, let's say the cameras got to be on, and you
Yes.
can mute the chat part of it. And maybe if you can use a multiple device, you can monitor who's playing the fool and who's actually listening, kind of a thing there. You need a kind of a moral check to happen. I think if you can do that, you could conduct it well, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a very good tip, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any more, please?
Yes, Narsamlu, sir. Yeah, you have a question, ask me. Okay. I think, sir, they're asking for the feedback form there.
Okay, okay.
Let
We'll
the
provide
magic wheel
feedback
come
link.
on and then the
You
feedback
can
form.
download your certificate by giving your feedback. Okay, right. It is getting uploaded now. We will start immediately working on it. Okay. Within 2 minutes, you will get it link. Okay. Thank you, one and all, and for patient listening since morning. And now the time has come to an end. That is our last session called valedictory session for today's day-long online training program. Now I request our chief guest of this. Now I request our Director Academic, Professor Pushpa Chakrapani Madam, please come on to the dais, and Ms. Aruna will present a bouquet to our guest. Please come. Welcome, Madam. Please come. Yeah. Very good afternoon good evening to all of you. Let me take this opportunity to thank Professor all the resource persons, Professor Venkaya Garu, Professor Ravi Kumar and Ravi, Professor Rajshekhar and Professor Patrick, those who have been participating since morning, and also invite Professor Pushpa Chakrapani Madam, Director Academic, for this valedictory session. And since morning, when we started our inaugural function, there are 189 participants. And now it is almost close to 100. And we are all aware that we cannot sustain online a day long. And of course, we have habit of taking classes 2 hours session. But now in the context of ODL, it has come down to 1 hour. But even now, we cannot sustain 1 hour. And this is the scenario where online teaching is taking place. But still, because of interest of our participants, most of them are teachers and including our internal teachers. And also the interest of the university, because all of us know education system, which is evolving from conventional system to distance education and then now online education. So it is in this context, training our teachers is important, paramount important, felt by the university, and the CSTD made it in implementation at this level. So it is in this context, across all 4 or 5 faculties of BREOU, Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Commerce and Business Management, Faculty of Education, Faculty of Social Science and Sciences, we requested all the deans and heads of the departments to circulate and reach out all the academic counselors of their respective departments and faculty. And also, another way, we also requested Director Student Support Services to circulate or communicate the information to reach out all the academic counselors through the regional coordination centers from where we have been offering our PG programs. And with the efforts and coordination of Director SS, LVK Reddy and his team, and also the efforts of deans and heads of the departments in reaching out all the academic counselors, we could able to mobilize about 189 participants as our academic counselors and including internal teachers. And I hope all the participants might have learned something out of it. for making our teaching learning more effective. So it is in this context, we have requested our director academic to grace the occasion as chief guest for this valedictory section, and also request her to give her message. Madam Pushpa Chakrapan.
Thank you, Professor Pawar. Very good evening to all of you. All my PG counselors who are involved in taking PG classes for the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University students in all subjects from across the faculties, and the resource persons who are involved since morning till 5 o'clock. Dr. Ravi Kumar, Professor B. Rajshekhar, and Professor A. Patrick. I am very thankful to all of you for involving in this training program. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the director CSTD, who has been very meticulously planned this program, because this is the need of the hour. And though we are already started online teaching when the COVID has affected all the people in the world, but since there are many things to learn how to teach online effectively and how learner friendly it should be. I don't want to go in detail because everybody has given their speeches regarding the role of academic counseling in ODL by Professor Venkaya Garu, and academic and student advising in the digital era by Dr. Ravi Kumar, and educational technologies for effective online teaching by Professor Rajshekhar Garu, and essentials of online teaching, Professor A. Patrick Garu. But I would like to just inform you about 2-3 points, how effective should be the online teaching, and also how learner friendly it should be. You all know in the Open University, the students are very heterogeneous. They have come from different backgrounds, different educational qualifications, different socio-economical conditions, different academic qualifications, and all those things. So as a teacher, when we teach online, we should keep in mind the background of the students first. And particularly when we teach online, there are some points, educational process, how it should be when we teach online, particularly to the, of course, now there is no limit for online teaching exclusive, not only for the Open University students, but throughout the world, even in the conventional university also, the teachers are going for online, even at the school level also we have seen. So the first thing, the teacher who is teaching online should have, the communication should be very, very clear. Because when we teach online, in the beginning of any module, we should make them to understand the learning objectives of that particular module, and also the expectations of the students, and everything should be the communication should be very clear what we are going to teach them. So the next important point is engaging the content. Just now somebody asked regarding how to sustain the students' attention. So we should be very clear how to engage the content, because the content which we prepare should be very interactive and multimedia. We should, the multimedia content should be very rich. The content should not be very only text. It should imbibe with the videos and simulations which attract more students and which are effective to the learners also. So such kind of things make the lessons very interactive, very engaging, and very, very motivational also. And third important point, everybody should understand, as a teacher, we wanted to tell many things to the learner at a time. So we came with a lot of information. We dumped everything in the class. No, particularly for online teaching, the content should be in, we should make them in small segments. Then only students can learn and understand, they digest the things slowly. Because we dump online, as Pawar said now, in the beginning, there were 189 students who attended this training program. Now we are seeing around 89 to 90. So we cannot sustain the span of the learner interest for a long time. So for that, there are some strategies I think they have covered in the morning sessions. So the every teacher, those who are teaching online, should keep those things in mind. Should break the content into small segments. And always try to give the examples, real-time examples. That will be more effective. That will be more attached to the content which we are giving. That's how the learners should be able to connect themselves with the example the teacher give when they are teaching in the online. Because we are teaching online, the subject, generally for any student, they will get bored. If we give the live examples, real-time examples, they connect the things with the content and it will be more lively also. Another very, very important thing is those who are teaching online, the platform which you are using, that is LMS, Learning Management System, should be very friendly. That should be accessible to the learner. That should be more friendly to the, not only to the teacher, to the learner also. So you should be very careful while you select the learning management system when you teach online. Another important thing is the lecture should be interactive assessment, because we are go on teaching the subject doesn't make sense. So in between we have to give some quizzes, some assignments, and also some peer assessment also, so that the students are from, as we discussed in the morning, students will be from different backgrounds, and there is no common platform for the students to come to one place with each other. So this is a platform where we have, if we imbibe some quizzes, some online assessments, some project wise, students will come together and they interact with each other. That's how we develop the collaborative learning. So that is a peer learning also. We can call it as peer learning also. So this peer learning or collaborative learning enhances the interest of the students as well as their engagement, and their attention span also should increase. We can make them to be more alert in the classroom. The last point, what I would like to emphasize is flexible scheduling. As we discussed just now, the students are from different backgrounds, and not only that, the students who are taking classes for online, who are taking admission in the open universities, most of them are employees, more than 90%. So we should make the schedule according to their time and space. And also, finally, we should make them to all the lessons should be recorded, so that those who are not able to attend the classes, they will take those recorded lessons and they'll be in a position to follow the lessons. So like that, these are some of the points which I got to discuss with you. So since you're all very experienced teachers and you're already in the counseling since many years, you know how to teach, you know how to tackle the students, but there are very, very little points to be remembered when you teach online. So I wish you all the best. I hope this workshop definitely helped you to learn the things, how to make the online teaching more effective and more learner friendly, because in future, as you all know, being the teachers working in different institutions, even in the UGC is now emphasizing going for online teaching and learning process. So in future, definitely every institution, not only Open University, every institution, definitely they have to go for online teaching and learning. So these are some of the tips you should keep in mind while while you designing the online class, how to reach the students, how effectively you teach online, and also how friendly you are when you are teaching in the online sessions. Thank you very much, and thank you for once again all the team members, the efforts you have put in to making this online training program, and also all the experts who have come and delivered their lectures for the benefit of our PG counselors. I wish many of such kind of activity should come from the CSCD branch. I hope Pawar is the person who takes the things in the right way, and he know what type of programs he has to design for the entire staff, not only for the staff members, for the students, and for the counselors. Since he has taken up the charge as the director CSCD, he is developing many such kind of activities. And I congratulate once again the entire CSCD people, particularly Pawar, for taking up this kind of activity. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion, and also given thought-provoking talk on this species occasion. And of course, time has come to conclude the session. Now I call upon Dr. K. Madhuri from the Department of English to propose formal vote of thanks. Dr. Madhuri.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Shall I proceed?
Yeah, please.
Good evening, one and all. Esteemed chief guest of today's function, online training program, Professor Pushpa Chakrapani, Director Academic, Professor Anand Pawar, sir, Director CSTD. On behalf of CSTD, Center for Staff Training and Development, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, we profusely thank Vice Chancellor, Professor Sita Rama Rao, sir, and the Registrar, AVN Reddy, sir, for their constant support and encouragement in conducting this training program. Our gratitude to 4 esteemed resource persons for today's online training program who successfully deliberated their lectures on role of academic counseling in ODL in the morning session by Professor V. Venkaya, sir, by Dr. Ravi Kumar, sir, online academic student advising in the digital era, educational technologies for effective online teaching by Professor B. Rashekar, sir, essentials of online teaching by Professor Patrick. We profusely thank all the resource persons for constant engagement in this online training program. Lot of resource has been provided for us regarding how to teach, what is an effective teaching, what kind of technology is important for us in online teaching. We thank all the resource persons for this help. And last but not the least, we thank all the deans, head of the departments, all the faculty, counselors, Director EMMRC, Director Student Service Branch, Computer Center, and the staff related to this. We thank one and all for helping us and supporting us in conducting online program. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. Thank you so much. And now session is completed. Thank you one and all. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.